Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for the Mini Medium with Stephanie Cowan. Live from TarotWithSteph.net. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is the Mini Media on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
All right. Hi, guys. Hello. Happy Wednesday. And what a special day today. Happy Valentine's Day. I decided to be a little festive in a sense and wear some attire that matches the holiday. So hopefully you all are at least giving back to yourself with some self-love. So even if some of you struggle with Valentine's Day or not fans of the holiday, that's okay. I always say just focus on giving back to yourself and that self-love no matter what. So, but I'm happy to be here, and I am your mini medium as usual on the A1R Psychic Radio and the beautiful Moonstruck TV. I have been sitting here trying to get it ready today. You know, I was getting a little worried because I didn't feel so great earlier today. Had a bit of a headache and started to turn to a migraine. And, you know, my soon-to-be daughter-in-law said to eat green apples. I thought that was interesting. So I don't know if that worked or what might be, but I'm here and I feel better and did a little of my own self-love today. So anyhow, as usual, we're going to go ahead and let's pull an affirmation for this week. And we'll kind of chat for a minute. And then, of course, we'll take our callers today. And super excited. Just, you know, that a lot of people, you know, struggle with certain holidays. And Valentine's Day can be a tough one, you know, for those who, you know, have lost a spouse or even a child in that sense. Or those who just haven't found their person and want to know, you know, when or if that's going to happen, right? So anyhow, we'll see what happens tonight with those callers. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to count out these cards. And let's see what our affirmation says for today. I kept seeing the number 18 today. So the 18, I was interesting because I thought that I thought maybe the 14 would be so appropriate since today is Valentine's Day here in the U.S. and wherever it may be. But I had to go with my intuition, right? The little voices in my head. And I think it's going to be perfect. So the number 18 has been the number that has really been resonating with me today. So we'll see how that fits. Now, for those who have maybe never listened to my show, every week I, you know, as I get ready to meditate and get ready to do my podcast, numbers come up, names will come up. If you have a loved one in spirit that's very anxious, then sometimes I'll get even more information. And then, you know, the universe aligns those people with me just beautifully. So I can't wait to see what happens tonight for sure. All right. So now the affirmation for this week. So this will be for until next Wednesday. And I thought this was so appropriate. So what I do is I count out the cards to the number 18, pull the number 18, and how interesting that today being Valentine's Day. And the first three words in this affirmation says, in my heart, I know that good things are coming my way. So here's what you want to do. This is your affirmation for the week, and repeat it every day until you soak it into your soul. Remember, in my heart, I know that good things are coming my way. So good energy, good affirmation. And, regardless of how tough that life can get, I really have so much faith that everything happens the way it's supposed to, and the way, everything happens for a reason, and everything happens for you and not to you, right? So then that way you feel like, okay, all right, I've got some things to learn. And then you don't feel like you're in a bit of what we would call victim mode. So think about that. I love to change that one word, the four, or I should say the two, to a four. So it's life-changing, just that little bit, I promise. All right. Well, I am super excited to take this caller. This caller is from Australia, and this is Benny. Hi, Benny. This is the mini medium. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, hon. How can I help you tonight?
Yeah, I would like to do a reading for the first year. Yes. So this is my first reading for this year. So I would like to know about what happens going to be in this year, financially or.
Yeah. Okay, sure. And so we can do what I call a general reading, just whatever my guides bring to me, whatever I'm drawn to, unless you have a very specific topic question that you're wanting to know for the year. Do you prefer one or the other?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do just a general reading?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull some cards for you, and we'll see just kind of what comes, what the universe brings, what our guides bring to us. While I'm doing that here, Benny, I don't know if you heard me mentioning just a bit ago, numbers come to me during the day or all the time, actually, and usually it is connection with my callers or those who I do readings for throughout the day. So the number 18 has really been coming up today. Do you connect with that number?
Oh, okay.
Do you
Both
connect
my
with
daughter and my son is born in at 18.
Your daughter and your son were born on the 18th?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, wonderful. Well, that's just validation that you were meant to be with me today to do a reading. So that 18 kept coming up, and your children's birthday being the 18th. I think that's amazing. All right. So let's see here. I'm pulling a few cards for you, my friend. And I don't know if you're familiar with how I do my readings, but what I really like to do is just listen to more of my gifts, but the cards will guide us a bit. So a couple things that I want you to be mindful of that I see really revolve, this really revolves around finances. This really revolves around even some reorganization of your money, your assets, your debts. So this year I do feel for you is going to be a year of just trying to almost consolidate a lot of things, not just financially, but also consolidating within your personal life. So meaning that people in your life that last year were not serving you in a good way, now we're going to consolidate, bring all the good, people in your life together, and then we're going to leave out those ones that have not been so nice. Whether that's family or friends,
okay.
It does not matter. Does that make sense?
Okay, yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
I can understand that.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, good. Now, are you currently employed? Do you have a job?
No, I'm not working. At the moment, I'm still studying, but I have off because of I have to diagnose PTSD. So, yeah, financially should be a bit tight for me at the moment.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, my friend, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm sure with with your medical stuff going on and trying to get yourself healthier and that definitely can put a strain in your money and your finances. And but I really do feel that if you can take this year and really make some sacrifices, I know you've already had to make some, but even a little bit more of where you can cut some things out, just like I was saying, cutting people out, but also cutting, maybe frivolous expenses. I really feel here right about August. I feel like you're going to see, it feels like a big sigh of relief. So it's, money coming in, or you're able to consolidate bills and things won't be too stressful financially, okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, one last thing I'll tell you, and then I got to take my next caller, hun. But I feel like too that one thing I'm saying, especially the fact that I was connected to your two children with the 18th birthday. There seems to be one of the kids I feel is a bit distant, and that usually is either geographically they live far away, or just the relationship is distant. Does that make sense?
Sorry, what do you mean?
With one of your children, do they live far away from you, or do you feel like your relationship is far? You're not as close as you used to be.
No, I really wanted to them. My ex is want to full custody. So and then he lost the full custody. So which is with 50-50 custody. They're only 7 and 15. Of course, I wanna be with them all the time.
Good. Okay, good. That's good. Good. Okay. So I just want to make sure that as I see the kids that if there's a moment this year where you're feeling a bit emotionally distant with the kids, or the relationship is there, just be very mindful of that. I do feel one of the kids kind of is struggling with a lot and may pull away from you. So just be mindful and really just be there for that one for sure. But I feel overall for this year, it really is going to be a year of consolidating, making some sacrifices, so that then 2025, you'll see some new changes that are going to feel this huge relief off your shoulders, okay?
Okay.
All right, my friend. Well, I enjoyed meeting you and talking to you, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you very much for your time. Yeah.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, hun. All right. I have my next caller from Georgia. I missed her name. Georgia.
Aquanda.
Hi, Kwanda. I love that name. Oh, it's beautiful. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good. How can I help you, hun?
24 has been different. It's been rocky so far.
I have to kind of agree with you. My January was a little rough. It was a little rocky too for me.
Yes.
What question do you have for me, hun?
I don't know. I need to know what is going on that changed, because I worked kind of hard trying to keep the peace and balance, and everything just went haywire. My personal life, my children, my family, everything, my finances, everything.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, I don't know if this will make you feel any better. I feel like sometimes when we feel that we're not alone, it can make us feel a little better. Um, I I do probably an average about 15 to 20 private readings a week, and I have really noticed that majority of my clients have really said that 2023 for them was just a rough year. It was a year of just um, so many things that happened that opened a lot of people's eyes to what they needed to change in their life. It also made them be more mindful and aware of what they have and to be grateful and thankful for. A lot of that energy carried into January. Now, for me in January, I had a loss of a loved one. My daughter had a miscarriage. I mean, it was just like, I feel you, hon. January was rough. I felt like it was like 365 days in January. It drug on. And it just seemed so much. And one thing that I encourage you to do, and I know this is sometimes easier said than done, when we have our next full moon, which is coming here in the first part of March, release and let go of the January, of everything that was so, heavy. And the way you do that, and it's just a little bit of advice, then I'll read for you. But when you write down, or for the full moon, write down on a piece of paper what it is that you want to release. And that can be, if it's a person that you're wanting to, cut that energy out of your life, put that person's name down. If it's some health issues, put that down, finances, whatever it may be. And then you'll take that piece of paper and you'll safely burn it. And then take those ashes and then give those back to the universe or to Gaia, which is Mother Earth. Allow that energy to be recycled and to come back to you with good love and light. It sounds very simple, but it's very powerful. So try that here in the next, about 3 weeks-ish. Now, intuitively, some things that I'm picking up for you. Let me ask you really quick, because I asked my last caller and she connected, but you never know, you might as well. I see numbers all day, especially my day of my podcast, my guides, and the number 18 has been very significant today. Now, my last caller, her 2 children's birthdays, the 18th. So do you connect with that number in any way by chance?
My uncle's birthday was February 18th and mine is the 19th. So mine is Monday, his was Sunday.
Wonderful. Okay. And is your uncle still here in the physical world, or has he passed?
No, he's not.
He has passed, hun?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here's what's really interesting. I just got all my chills when my mediumship starts to kick in, and we get those beautiful validations of the why the number was coming up. Were you close to your uncle that just passed?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I never look at these ever as coincidences. I really feel that your uncle, his energy has been with me today, which I think is beautiful. Today being Valentine's Day, it's not all about, intimate love. It's not about, spouses or mates. It really is that love for somebody. And I feel like your uncle coming through and being with me today and you meeting up with me, the number 18 being connected to him, just validates how protective and how much love this uncle has for you. It's incredible, even just the energy I'm feeling. Now, how that meshes with kind of what your question is and what's been going on here in the next, I would say, well, yeah, I'm really at about 4 weeks. So probably right around like that full moon time. You do have a shift coming in your energy in the universe just for you. And what's going to happen is a sense of you feeling a need to step back and reevaluate some of the decisions that you've made in 2023 and either move forward or it's time to completely end them. One of those I do feel has to do with a relationship that I feel is just not serving you in a good way, hon. Do you understand that? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Beautiful. Now, do you connect with a name? I just heard, that was interesting. I just heard a name, which I'll get through. It's called clairaudience, so I'll hear voices. But I just heard the name, two-syllable F name, like Frederick or like Franco. I can hear the two-syllable F. Do you connect with that name in any way, by chance?
No.
Okay.
Not that. I'm kind of nervous. So.
You're okay. It happens a lot. I always tell my clients, just take it with you later when you're able to kind of breathe, and focus a bit. All of these will come, to fruition. But there's some reason why that two-syllable F name or a word, like Frederick's not a common name, but even like Francis, that's not very common either. But keep that in mind. But I feel like this is even a grandma, a very strong grandma, very strong female that I'm starting to pick up on. Do you have a grandma on mom's side that has passed?
Yes.
Okay. May I ask what her name is?
Inez. Violent Inez.
Inez. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Violent was her first name, but Inez is what everyone called her.
Ah, okay. Okay. Okay, perfect. I feel there's some reason that F name that is connected to your grandma. So keep that in mind. That might help you later.
On my father's side, his youngest sister is named Debbie.
Is what, hon?
My aunt on my father's side is my aunt's name is Debbie.
Oh, okay. Okay. And has she crossed over? She passed?
No, her son did, and she's struggling with it.
Gotcha. Okay. Are you close with her? Do you have?
I am.
Okay. Okay. You definitely had a purpose to be here, my friend, especially on this day of love. I really do have a feeling that I have your uncle. I also have the younger male, which would be you said your aunt's. Is that right? Your aunt's son?
Yeah.
Is that what you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually around my age.
Ah, okay. Okay. Perfect. Do you connect with the number 36? 36? That just popped up. So for me, that'll be the age of 36 or March 6th.
March 6th. Oh my God, that's my sister's birthday. She passed away. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. You have a lot of loved ones coming in, hon. Your sister passed and her birthday was March 6th?
March 6th.
Okay. Well, your sister's here, honey. This is the beautiful, it is all the messages and the beautiful signs that your loved ones in spirit have your back, that they are rooting for you, if you will, guiding you, protecting you, even through all of these times that feel like you're just, ready to break, per se. I'll tell you, you have an army on the other side that is going to make sure that nothing happens to you. I guarantee that, hon. One thing I just heard, this is how sometimes these readings go. We focus on you, and then your loved ones get so excited they want to hurry and channel and give messages. But she keeps mentioning, she says, tell my sister to leave her hair alone. She says, tell her to just leave her damn hair alone. She's talking
Oh my
about,
God.
are you changing your hair a lot, or did you just change it?
Yes, I've been stressed. Oh, yes.
Yeah, she's like, just tell her to just leave it. And she just keeps saying how beautiful you are and what a beautiful human being. And she says that you know the saying when they say no good deed goes unpunished.
Yes.
Your sister keeps telling me to tell you that you've done so much good, that it's just a matter of time before God or the universe, whoever you believe in, is going to bring these blessings. Now, I feel just intuitively that you're going to see some relief coming here in the next month. And so, and I don't tell people what they want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear. So,
yes.
But this is going to be a year of you really learning about yourself, and learning what's really important, and what's worth putting your energy into. It's really going to be a year of almost like house cleaning, just cleaning out the dust, the dirt, if you will, that's just not serving you in a good way. And as this happens this year, just without a doubt, my friend, your loved ones that have been popping in just in this short amount of time are there to let you know they'll make sure that that things get better. Okay.
Okay.
All right, my friend. I know these are so short. I have to wrap up my show, but what a beautiful, you've got so many amazing souls that popped in really quick. So I think that's a testament to the protection and the guidance that these ones are going to give you. So just trust in that. Ask them for the help, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, my friend. Well, you have a happy Valentine's Day, okay?
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Beautiful show. Incredible. Lots of amazing messages. So I hope you guys have a beautiful Valentine's Day. Remember to give yourself that self-love today. I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Psychic Paths with Suzanne Marie. Live from PsychicPaths.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Psychic Paths
On A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. I am Suzanne Marie with Psychic Paths, and I'm here to do a little bit of reading tonight. I am a clairvoyant and a light trance medium, which means I can talk to past loved ones. I see past, present, and future. I'm so glad to be here with you tonight. I hope that everyone is feeling loved and safe and that things are going your way, that you feel productive and your purposes on path. And yeah, I really do. I think that it's really, really important to keep on going if you are doing where your passion is leading you. So many times I get asked, what is my purpose? And I have to say that wherever your passion lies is your purpose, no matter what that is. And sometimes we feel obstacles and things in our way of doing that or stopping us. But we really must have faith and hope to continue the things that we know bring us passion and bring us happiness. That's where our real joy lies. And a little reminder that everyone has an inner guide, an inner guidance to help you and protect you and to make sure that you're doing everything that you want to do. We have Jacqueline from British Columbia, Canada, Columbia. Hello.
Hi,
How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I just can't wait for spring. We got one more month. So
Yeah, it's just starting here.
I'm pretty excited about that. So what can I help with you tonight?
I was hoping for a medium reading. I
Okay.
lost somebody a while ago.
Okay. Let me see what I can get from spirit, okay? I'm going to connect to your energy first, and then I'm going to see who comes through. Sound okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, that's good.
So it feels like the grieving has been for a while, and it feels unhealed a little bit, or maybe it feels healed, but then it's open all of a sudden. Is that what you're experiencing?
Yeah, it's just been ongoing, kind of.
It feels like that. It feels like there's an empty space in your heart. And I'm telling you, I'm going to give you the best advice I can give you about that. And that is there's no time frame for when you should feel better. No one should tell you when is enough. You cry until you've had enough and you go on, and if you feel like crying again, you do exactly what your body and your emotions are telling you to do because it's real. It's something we have to process, and it may take forever. But if you take that time, that you need that, and don't let no one say, "Well, oh my goodness, it's been so long, I didn't think." Well, no, you do exactly what you're supposed to do, and that's listening to yourself. Um, Let me get back to the reading now. Um, okay, so the person that's coming through kind of is showing me that there was a passing and it was in the evening. It feels like an evening. Um, was there someone you know that was victimized or brutalized? Because somebody is saying that they were somehow beat up or blood force trauma is what I'm getting.
Oh, that would not be the person I was thinking of, but I definitely know.
Okay.
It was brutal. I know somebody that was brutally killed.
Okay.
It's not the person I was thinking of, but I'd be surprised.
Well, they come through the gate. So let me see who else is coming through. Okay, so someone else is coming through, and they seem to be very, very close to you. There was a very deep friendship, or like a sister feeling. Have you lost someone that you felt like was a sister to you, or was a sister to you? It could be a mother. It could be a mother figure. Okay.
But the person, okay, this is really weird. I've lost quite a few people in the last few years.
I can tell.
And there was somebody, a girl attached to the person that was brutally murdered that died after. So she basically killed herself because she was there when he was murdered.
Oh, no. Okay.
She was only 17, and I was kind of like a mom to her.
Okay. All right. Because it feels like there was a real attachment of feelings and emotions.
Yeah, I've had some pretty major losses in life.
I'm so sorry for that. In the group of people that are coming through, is the person that you're hoping to hear from, is that a male?
Yeah.
And did he have a name that started with a J? Because I'm getting some J name.
No.
Okay. Am I getting more of your people?
I have somebody else. I have another guy, Joe, and he died brutally too a couple of years ago.
Okay, so let's try something different. Thank you, everyone.
I'm actually.
Let's try something different. Ask that person in your mind to come forward, the one that you want, because else everyone's gonna come and want to say hi to you. Just go in your mind and say, "Come forward." What I'm feeling is a resistance. I am feeling a resistance. I feel like somebody had unfinished business and they're feeling a little nervous about coming forward. Did the person that you want to come forward have unfinished business with you? Was there something that wasn't resolved? Or is there an apology that needs to be done?
It's, I don't know, and resolved just.
I get the impression that there's so much that needs to be said and cleared.
Well, the person that I'm trying to come forward was somebody that I dated. And the day before he passed away, he told me he was getting me a ring for Christmas.
Oh my goodness.
And the next morning he was gone.
Okay.
He died in a car crash.
Sorry.
And I actually read cards and stuff myself. I get number signs.
Oh.
Personally, like I've been around this my whole life. That's why I'm like trying to get more answers. Like,
I feel like this person loves you so much, but there's guilt, and it's not your guilt. It's his guilt. There's a guilt there, and I think he's just wanting to hear from you that you feel no ill will from him and that he didn't do anything wrong. He feels like he did something wrong. Maybe he feels like he's abandoned you, but there's a resistance. And if you open up that doorway of trying to communicate with him, I feel like there would be a floodgate. Because I feel like
I do. Like, that's the thing. When I communicate with him through my cards, I have a certain set. And it's like, I know it's working because of the answers I get and the cards I pull. I just, there's no way.
I've got 2 minutes.
I guess I just still want validation. Pardon?
I've got 2 more minutes, but I want, if we can't finish this, please check and email me. It's Readings by Suzanne. Okay? Because we can finish this in private and it'd be for free. Let's just finish this. I feel like you need to just let him know that you're not trying to connect with him for to rehash old stuff. You just want to connect because you love him. And I think he just feels a little nervous. He feels nervous. He feels like he wanted to start something with you, and he feels like it was his fault that he left you. He feels like he's left you. So if you want, we can finish this. If you email me, I'll email you right back, and we can set up a time and do this so that the communication is open and no more guessing. Okay?
Yeah.
Because this is important.
Yeah,
Excuse me? So it's Readings by Suzanne with a S. SUSANNE. Readings by Suzanne at gmail.com. And we will get we'll get this to this. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes. Please have yourself a good rest of the week. Email me and we can do this. And I think that'll work. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys. And I will see you the same time next week. Bye-bye.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Readings by Diane with Diane. Live at readingsbydiane.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Readings by Diane on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. It's Diane here at Readings by Diane in Effingham, New Hampshire. You can find me on my website at www.readingsbydiane, Facebook at Readings by Diane Jarecki, and I also have a YouTube, Readings by Diane. And if you are local, you can also find me this Saturday in Manchester, New Hampshire at the Magical Market, where I will be one of the readers all day long. So anyway, looking forward to taking another caller today, and I'm going to be using a brand new deck to my collection, a little unusual for my taste because it's a little cleaner, more contemporary take on the metanoia, and some different decks. I'm going to try and change it out on a regular basis for those who are watching so that you're not seeing the same decks over and over again. So whenever my caller is ready, I am ready to take and do a reading. And I'm excited to kind of use some fresh decks this week myself. So, been a little cold again here in New Hampshire. It had warmed up and things have cooled down again, but we've got some warmer weather coming again later this week. So winter's starting to break a little bit. And so Carla is joining us today. Welcome, Carla. And
hey, Diane, thanks so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. So
I've got all the warm weather here too up in Canada.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got all the warm weather up here in Canada.
Oh, do you? You've got it up there. No, wait a minute. Usually you guys don't have
backwards
it.
now, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it kind of doing the same thing up there though? Like cold, warm up, cold again?
Yeah. Honestly, it kind of happens in Alberta all the time. Like you can leave the house in the morning in a parka and by noon you need shorts and a tank top. So I just kind of layer every time I leave the house, not knowing. Like I'll put the vest on under the winter jacket. I don't know by the time I get to the truck what the weather's going to be. I went into a massage and I was wearing my parka and I come out and I swear I could have been wearing a tank top. And I was like, How long was this massage?
Right?
Yeah, it was not a long time.
Yeah, we don't really get that.
Looking at you like you're
in the winter time. That's more like fall and spring here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Not complaining though. Not complaining.
Right. You gotta love where you live, right? I love it here.
Yeah. Do you guys get minus 40s where you are?
No. Here, it doesn't get anywhere near that cold. We'll get down into like the -5s, but not that often and not for that long. And we've kind of passed that time of year where that would happen here.
I need to move.
Yeah, Alaska gets that, but we don't. So,
we get it here in Alberta. Yeah. Sorry, I think there's a little bit of a lag between us. I'll pause a little longer after I say something, or after you say something.
Okay. Yeah. There does seem to be a little bit of a lag on this, and I'm still getting used to that myself a little bit here since I'm new to doing this. So what can I do for you today? What's your question you want to know about?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I feel so unprepared. What do you offer?
So I do tarot, department, and playing cards. And because it's cartomancy, I need at least a life area, like needing to look at, career, finances, love life. And I do have oracle cards. I can go a little deeper and more spiritual message, but for the most part, a framework is what I work within, of having a question or at least a life area for everything.
Career, please.
Okay, so you want to take a look at, like, in general, what's going on with your career?
Yes, please.
All right. Now, have you been in the same career for a while?
Yeah, like under a decade.
Okay, but that's still under a decade, but it means it's been for years enough to be counting it more towards a decade, right?
I think I'm in the middle.
Okay. I consider that a long time in a job or career, so. Now, have you been with the same company for the whole time, Carla?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'd say it like a contractor situation.
Okay.
You know, so you're kind of all over, right? Like you don't just work for one, you work with group, right?
Okay. So like what here we tend to call that more a temporary, but I've heard it called contract a lot because I read for people all around the world, so I'm familiar. But yeah, so kind of like temp positions. So you've worked in the same career, but you've been bouncing around a bit company to company. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, kind of. It's kind of the nature of my job. Like you just, you go where the work is, right?
Okay. Just want to make sure I understand, just because then as I look at the cards, if there's anything that talks about that kind of stuff, I'll know that's kind of something you would expect. It's a little normal. Okay. And it's interesting, and usually, like, the way I read the cards, I get a little bit of a storyline, like past to present and future. It's not strictly the future. And I'm kind of seeing like you left something that you had really loved to do this. And I feel like, it was stressful in the beginning for you, but it's become less so because I feel like you've gained confidence in your skills now in this career.
Correct.
And I feel like you're moving forward to a place in it that you're really actually going to, you're mastering it. So just for those with a visual, this is where I was seeing the end of something loved, but then the lowering here of the stress in this current career. And then it's the Magician and the Chariot showing this confidence in your skills moving forward. And I feel like things are going to start really taking off for you actually a little bit more because of your experience. That Chariot is showing kind of a speeding up. You know, the Magician masters the skills, gains that confidence, builds things, shows things off and shows what they can do. And then in the Chariot, we move forward.
Love it.
And since we're going to the Eight of Cups, this shows kind of an evolution of loving this and reaching a really good solid point, because anytime we're in the 8, we're in the lemniscate, we're in the infinity symbol. And so we're loving it now for the long term because of that confidence in the skills, because of where that's taking you now. And it takes you then into this mastery because you go from the Knight of Swords, who is really kind of a beginner, and again, that's harking back to that cutting out what you didn't like before, to the King of Cups, where you're really starting to sit in that confidence of enjoying your current career and enjoying what you've learned. But the King speaks to mastery. So you have reached that level of being really solid in this career.
I think I hope you're spot on, sister.
Well, I would say that the cards truly are, because what I consider the shadow message or the surprise at the bottom of the pack kind of echoes it, because again, we show, I've got the Knight of Swords, again, echoing that cutting out something before and moving to the King of Batons or Wands, where again, we're sitting in that confidence of knowledge because you're in air. So yes, I do feel this is really going to start taking you to new levels in your career, and fairly quickly that this is going to start moving for you because of those batons and the Chariot. All right. So thank you, Carla. And I really, really wish you many blessings in the future here with your career and places it's going to take you. And I wish everybody much love, much light, many blessings. Thank you for joining me today. Again, that's www.readingsbydiane.com or at Readings by Diane Jarecki on Facebook. Bye.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for New York City Celebrity Psychic with Perry Lyons. Perry Lyons. Live from PerryLyons.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is New York City Celebrity Psychic on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, darlings. Hello, my cherished ducklings. I'm Perry Lyons, PERILYONS, Perry Lyons, that's me. And this is Moonstruck TV and A1R Radio. I am a psychic medium, although over the holidays I ate so much that I'm edging toward being a psychic large. But I'm so looking forward to hearing from you. Please do call in. I have a verifiable 85% accuracy rate and above, but I like to just put that little extra in to make me look better and give me a little wiggle room. So I'm sitting here waiting by the phone, waiting for your call. And call with your most deepest and least grammatical, questions. And I'm here for you. I occasionally do mediumship work, but I'm on air. It's very tiring, so it's kind of easier if you can just ask a psychic question, but I'm open to both tonight. And what else? We've got a new moon coming up in Aquarius, which is very lucky for all of us because Jupiter's in Aquarius. I might be wrong about that. I should probably look that up before the show went on. Anyway, but the new moon in Aquarius on the 24th is a great time to put your intentions into the universal ether. It really is. New moon is a great time to just state your intentions out loud, like you already have them. I have a Rolls Royce. Feel free to send me one. And I've got a fairy in my hair tonight for those of you who are watching at home or watching at a friend's house or just plain watching. See that? I got a little fairy. That's because my first name means fairy. And the first time I looked my name up, it said I meant fallen angel. I was a little taken aback by that. I'm like, Mom, Dad, what did you look at me and say, oh, she's so cute. What does she look like? She looks like a little baby slut. No, fallen angel is not the right definition though. A fairy or graceful being. Fairy, if you've ever seen me trip over a dust moat as I'm trying to cross a room, you know the graceful isn't maybe the first word that springs to mind, but anyway, I'm babbling because it's fun. I'm going to draw the 3 cards I do for the psychic weather, which is a phrase I invented and everybody else is stealing, so what the hell. I've been doing this for 5 years and I'm very, very grateful to Moonstruck TV, A1R Radio, and my producers, Dave and Constance Solomon, and to all of you guys. It has been so fun so far, and it's only getting better, baby. Okay, we got Stephanie in Texas City, Texas. Hi, Stephanie. Give me 3 minutes. I just want to do the psychic weather, the tarot weather for the week. While you're waiting, Stephanie, what I'm going to ask you to do is breathe in deeply. And as you breathe out, I'm going to ask you to do this 3 times. Breathe out like this, like you're blowing out a birthday candle. You might sound like a whoopee cushion, but don't worry about that. That's to get you into a very relaxed state, which makes it easier for me to jump in and rummage around in the sock drawer of your psyche. Okay, darling, I'll be right back. I'm just going to do the psychic weather for the week. This is the tarot weather for the week. And I'm going to be drawing 3 cards. Excuse me, 1 second. This is water. Joke. And for all of you watching me for a long time and know that I usually keep my tarot cards in a big battered cardboard box, I just got something new. Woohoo! Kate Spade tote bag. Okay, so I'm going to draw 3 cards. This will be the beginning, starting today for the week coming up. Going to be the beginning, middle, and end of the week. So what's the first card? Oh, and the first card is the 2 of Wands. This can often mean that you're sort of in the beginning of something. This might be at that stage where you're dating somebody and you're sort of dreaming of each other, but you haven't made any kind of commitment yet. So boys, get on that, or girls, or other. If you're a gender fluid or whatever gender you identify as, we're very LGBTQ friendly at this show, in this show, on this show, whatever. So the beginning of the week is going to see you might have started a project or a relationship, which is in that stage of like, where's this going? And what I suggest is just go where your intuition takes you. Go in the direction of pleasure, whatever lights you up, whatever, even if it sounds crazy as you're thinking of it, just go ahead and do, not too crazy. Don't wear a giant chicken suit and dance around doing the polka, unless, but enough about my personal life. But I would really follow your intuition in this week, especially with the new moon in Aquarius on the 24th. Aquarius is about innovation, about thinking outside any box, thinking so far out of the box you can't even see the box. And so it's a really good time. You're working towards something. I strongly believe it's going to work out. I just love doing that. Oh boy. Okay, next one is, this is somebody for me, a lot of readers read this differently, but over the 15 years, I've been 20 years. I started when I was 10. Over the years I've been doing this, what I found out is this card means 2 things. First of all, it's overcoming a fear of success to be successful. It also means strategic planning. So there's something this week where if you think ahead, you're going to succeed. What this guy is doing if you can see the card, if you can see the card, what he's doing is he's snuck into the enemy camp. Apparently there was going to be a big battle the next day, but he snuck into the enemy camp the night before and he's stolen all their swords. So no bloodshed tomorrow, and P.S. got a lot of nice new swords. So it's about if you plan ahead for some sort of maybe stressful or important situation that's coming up for you, think strategically, know you can win, and P.S. a lot of nice new swords. Okay. Third one is, and Stephanie, thank you for waiting. Oh, that's kind of cool. I almost put it back, but I don't put cards back because I have integrity. Of course, if I have integrity, it probably belonged to somebody else to begin with. Joke. This is the Fool card. As we all know, the Fool is the poor sap who everything in the tarot happens to. He's the 0 card. He's the beginning and end of the tarot. What this actually means, all joking aside, is that you're starting a new journey of some kind. You're taking a step up in frequency. You're taking a step up in your life. And sometime toward the end of this week, which is 6 or 7 days from today, you are going to be starting something that's going to be wonderful. What we strongly, I don't know why I'm talking about myself in the plural, what I strongly advise, maybe because I'm royalty. I actually am related to Marie Antoinette. I'm her 6th cousin, 12 times removed. It's true. But who cares? And look what happened to her. So what this card says is that you're going to be beginning something. You might be embarking on a new relationship, taking a new job, but have some faith. This card is usually depicted as somebody stepping off a cliff while his little dog is jumping up and down beside him, which can either mean the dog is saying, don't do that, but don't listen to your doubts, just do that. What it actually means, the dog is his intuition. And as he's stepping off the cliff, like Harrison Ford, no, is it Harrison Ford? Yeah. In Temple of Doom, as he's stepping onto what's that part where he's stepping, it's like he's stepping into an abyss, but Kate Capshaw is saying, just take the step and the bridge will come. So if you take the step, the bridge will come. By which I mean, have some faith, take a leap of faith, trust yourself, because you are the only one of you that has ever happened in the entire universe ever. And how cool is that? So you're obviously the best one of those. Woo! Thank you. That's our week. So it starts off with, you're thinking about, you're into a project or a relationship. It hasn't gotten to the culmination stage. That's fine. Just enjoy the ride. The second part is plan strategically for success. A lot of nice new swords. And the third one is, I have just forgotten that. Oh, the Fool. Speaking of fools, the Fool card is you're starting a whole new journey. Enjoy it and take that leap of faith. Stephanie, I hope you're still there and that you've been doing that beautiful magic breathing I just taught you. Hi, baby. How are you? Stephanie, I know you're there. I can hear you breathing.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, my love. Hi, sweetie. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so first, I like to connect with people by having them tell me what their birthday is. Do you mind doing that?
The year too, or just the month?
Not if you don't want to, honey. Don't ask, don't tell. Just the day and date is fine. I won't tell me mine.
August 2nd of 84. So.
August what?
2nd.
Oh, 2nd. Oh, you little Leo. Oh, my favorites. You know what? I was talking with a friend yesterday about, she's an astrologer, Madeline Aslan. She's very good. But we were talking about how everybody wants to be a Leo because you guys are the coolest. And I decided I'd start a sign reassignment clinic in Costa Rica where you can fly and surgically we change your sign surgically. And I wouldn't want to be a Leo. I'm a Pisces. Okay, my love. What is your question? Because it feels like you have a very specific question at the top of your mind. Might be about a relationship. Might not.
Well, it's kind of two, so I'm trying to figure which one. Because my husband just passed last month, so I'm kind of like what the cards are saying. Whereas, like, I have 2 kids, so in a bad situation. So the whole journey thing, I'm going out on my own after 10 years with him. So,
oh, sweetheart,
it's kind of just, like, is he there?
Yeah. Oh, Okay, so we're going to do two things. I'm going to do a little mediumship work. If you want, I don't have to. But I will pull some cards. I will pull some cards and, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I can't imagine, but oh, God. I just want you to know that grief is, I lost somebody very precious to me recently, and I'm finding out that grief is its own animal. And be very gentle with yourself for the next year, okay? Be very compassionate. Treat yourself like you would a friend who's maybe sick. It's very hard. And I know with two kids, are they 6 and 8?
No, 7 and 15.
I'm sorry?
7 and 15.
Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, 6 and 7, I'm going to claim that one. The 15, wow, that's a lot of energy for you to be dealing with for other people. Try and take some time for yourself. Okay.
A lot of meditating.
Okay. Tell me his first, oh, I'm just so glad you're meditating. That's the best thing you can do right now. And I'll say prayer of any kind, even if it's just like, dear whoever's there. But it really does work. And I used to be an agnostic, and that has changed. But about you, do you mind telling me his first name?
Billy.
Oh, sweetheart, what a great name. Oh, he's a pumpkin. Oh, he's so happy he can communicate. First of all, I realize, okay, just so you know, what people say, he hasn't quite processed this either. Do you mind if I ask, was it sudden?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. He's so sorry. I know it wasn't his fault, but he just feels really guilty because he's so with you. He's also with his mom, who is devastated. Do you know, are you and his mom in touch?
We don't have the best relationship, but I know that it's been really hard on her.
Oh, it's been really hard for her. If you can, I know you don't, but she's a very young soul and you're a very old soul. And I think you guys, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I think you guys could comfort each other a lot. But you're very different personalities. Woo! Okay, let me get back to him because he's so happy to be here. I'm sorry, I'm normally very good at getting kids, but I'm a little emotional right now. Feels like, is it the boy who's 15?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. Sorry about that.
Okay.
The girl is 15?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much what's left over. I'm sorry, I can't get right now if it's a boy or a girl. I'm usually good at this, but everybody has their nights. The other one, they're both really affected, but one of them isn't talking about it. So you might want to go into, there's free grief counseling available in your neck of the woods. Just so you know, you can find it if you Google it. Might not be a bad idea. Although my grief counselor kind of sucked, so you never know. But I think you can find, I'm sorry. All she said was like, embrace the suck. I'm like, really? Really? That's what you're telling me? I'm like, that's all I do, honey. Can we move on? But sorry, Beck. First, I love him. He's very all-American looking. Is he very fresh-faced? You know what I'm saying? I just love him. No? He has
a lot of energy.
Yeah, he does. I don't know. He's like a big. I guess what I'm getting is he's like a big kid in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. He's very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
And he was very positive. I don't know. He just adored you. Now, one thing he's telling me that he regrets is sometimes he would sort of retreat into himself if you guys had a fight or something. And oh, honey, I'm sorry. This is hard. He wants to tell you that he was always on your side, and he is really sorry. He was so scared of losing you that sometimes he behaved like a little cooler than he felt. Is this making sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't think that he was enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he would sometimes try and play games out of insecurity. But man, you were the love of his life. End of. He was also, sometimes he could get kind of irrationally jealous of people you dated before. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's really sorry about that because also he says that, sorry, give me a second. He says you're the best mom ever, and he didn't tell you often enough how proud he is of you. God damn it, I don't want to cry. Excuse my language, sorry.
I'm crying right now.
What's the younger one's first name?
Our son is Jackson.
You have two sons?
No.
Oh, I was kidding. The younger one is a girl. So that's why I was asking. What's the 7-year-old's name? 8-year-old, whatever.
Jackson. Yeah, he's Jackson.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. Right. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Jackson is taking this hard. He doesn't even know he's taking it hard, but he's taking it hard. He's a very sensitive, you have some great kids there. He's a very sensitive little boy, but he's also like a little man. You know how you see those little boys and they're like little men and it's just the cutest thing ever? Is that accurate?
Yeah.
He's trying not to cry and he's trying not to, he wants to take care of you, which is just killing me because it's so cute. What a good, and your girl is amazing. Wow, she's really pretty too. She looks like you. I can't see, but I can see with the eye on my heart. What? Yeah.
Everyone says she's my twin.
Yeah, she is your twin. Oh, I love that. You're both so pretty. You both have especially beautiful eyes. Okay, I'm going very quickly. Yeah. Right? You're welcome. But I can say, oh God, they're amazing color. You have amazing color eyes. I can't tell if they're hazel or blue. By hazel, I mean that sort of, are they green or blue, your eyes? Now my guys are saying brown, but guys, will you stop messing with me? Sorry. What color are your eyes?
Well, mine are kind of gray. They change colors to blue and green and gray.
Yeah, they're blue, gray, and green. Yeah, I have that too. You've got ocean eyes. Love that. Okay, you're going to be okay. That's the first thing I want to tell you. And what I want you to tell yourself is not only are you going to be okay, you're going to thrive. I know it's really hard. Not only that, right now, 5 of diamonds, you're worried about stuff financially. There's much more available to you than you know. Also, but the Hanged Man card says you are going to take this challenge in stride. You are so much stronger than you know right now than you can feel right now. But the thing is, here's the card I got that just makes me happy. What the heck did I just do with it? Oh, great. I just dropped it. It's the Chariot card. Just trust me on this. The Chariot card. Oh, there it is. Chariot card is the card of winning in a difficult situation. You're going to have to be mother and father, which is what the two sphinxes pulling this chariot are. You're also either going to start your own side business or start your own business. You've never really thought of yourself as a terrific businesswoman. I am here to tell you, girl, you are. The thing is that you're very sensitive to Jackson gets it from somewhere, baby. You can ask Billy for help too. They help us. They really do. My dad helped me like crazy after he passed, just because I asked. They can't volunteer. There's some sort of rule about that, but you can ask Billy to help you. And just take your ideas seriously. Just write them down for now. Have a little book in which you write down 10 ideas a day. And what I'm going to say is you're going to make it through this. Eventually, you're going to remarry, but I can't even think about that now, but you are going to find a terrific man that's going to come towards you. Not right yet. I know you're in grief. Be gentle with yourself. Your kids love you. Billy loves you. And there's a pet name that he has for you it's not Pumpkin. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what it is, but oh God, is it cute? No, it's not Puppy. I give up. What's the pet name he has? What?
Pookie.
Oh, thank you. That's Pumpkin. I knew
oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Could have known that.
Yeah. Well, I'm good at this is my job, baby, and I'm good at my job. And And you know what? I'm just sending you so much love. And I do free readings for people who've lost a spouse or a child. You can contact me at Perry Lyons. I mean, I do them for people on my show who've done that. So contact me at Perry Lyons. That's P as in pneumonia, E-R-I, like periwinkle, Lyons, Lyons. I'm on Facebook. Just go to Perry Lyons or perrylyons@gmail. Contact me. I'm going to give you a free reading. Okay, we got 5 minutes. I'm going to go to my next guest, but I'm sending you love and support, and you're going to be okay. Just know that. Please know that. God's got you back, baby. Just a huge hug, and you're so great. Thank you. Thank you. I get the most amazing people calling in this show. Is the nice person who was on the line before still there, baby? You still there, Pumpkin?
Yes.
Oh, great. Hi, Katie. Thank you for being here.
Hi.
All right, we're going to talk really fast because I'm a New Yorker and we don't have that much time. And you're a very deep girl, aren't you? When's your birthday?
What was that?
When is your birthday, my angel? That's how I connect to people. Just tell me the day and date you were born. Like
April 16th.
Oh, April 16th? Oh, wow. That's my best friend's birthday and my, one of my best friends and my ex-fiance's birthday. But I still love you. And that's the day that your article about me came out. So this is my favorite day in the world. We love Aries in the show. So tell me your question. You've been a little depressed lately. Let me cheer you up because you got some good stuff coming. Talk to me, baby. What's your question?
I don't know. There's a lot that's been going on. And
yes, there is.
I just don't really know which way to go.
Okay, take it. First of all, did you hear the deep breathing thing that I taught the other woman before, where you breathe really deeply and then you let the breath out like this, like you're blowing out a birthday candle? When you start to feel overwhelmed, which is your main problem right now, I'm going to get to the fortune telling part in 1 second. I want you to do that breath 3 times, every time you feel overwhelmed. And remember, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. And you're right, you've got stuff going on financially, relationship-wise, family-wise. It's a lot, but you're going to get through it. Because, darling, you've never met a challenge you couldn't overcome. If you look at the evidence from your past, you'll see that everything you thought was going to kill you just made you stronger. So I'm going to tell you that right now. And let me pull some cards for you. What I'm getting for you here is, oh, honey, these are great cards. But yeah, right now it's a little tough. You're a little lonely. You feel like nobody's supporting you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really hard. And it feels like some form of payment or something that you were getting has suddenly stopped or maybe is in danger. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. Here's what's going to come up for you. Are you invited? If you're invited to a bridal shower, baby shower, or a wedding in the next 3 months, go. Something's going to happen there that's really going to change your life. Also, what they want you to know is this year, this is the earned happiness card. So just before I get to the specifics, I want to tell you that there's a happy ending happening for you by, I want to say June, October at the latest. This card is earned happiness and it's sudden happiness. You're a really good person. You take care of everybody else. It's time to start taking care of you. I think I would look for a different job if I were you. Don't quit the one you have. But you'd be really good. You might even want to learn a trade if you want to go to something like beauty school. I don't know what you're doing right now, but you're really good with people. How many kids do you have?
I have 4 kids, and then I lost 2.
I got 3. Sorry. Oh my God.
3 live with me.
Sorry.
But my oldest lives with her dad.
Oh my God. Well, she really is with her dad, and they're both waving. I only have 2 minutes, but I want you to know that they're both with you. You gave her a beautiful name, too. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, honey, you've already been through. You're going to be okay, though. And you've gotten through that, and you know they're with you. I've got 60 seconds. What I'm going to tell you right now is you're going to meet somebody else. I don't know if you're in a relationship, but if you are, it's not the right one for you. somebody's not telling you the truth. This card, although it's upside down, actually means that you can act on your dreams right now. If you have a dream of doing something, there's a lot of angelic support around for you to do that. Right side up, it means like you're dreaming and you're just going to dream. Upside down, it means take action. Just take one action, my angel. One action in any direction, because you're so paralyzed right now, and who could blame you? You're such a good person, and you're really deep, and you're really talented. And also, I'm going to tell you, you've got a beautiful face. You're so hard on yourself. Darling, forgive yourself for everything that's happened to you. Forgive yourself. It wasn't your fault. Forgive yourself and move on, because you have really great stuff waiting for you. And I'm not just saying that. Ask anybody. I don't just say stuff. Okay, what I'd like you to do is think about learning a trade that you can use. There are scholarships available for things like beauty school. You could make a lot of money doing that. You're a very talented woman. I'm very grateful you called. Contact me, because I didn't have enough time for you, at Perry Lyons on Facebook. Just send me an email. I'll get back to you probably within a week. I'll give you 15 minutes, okay? You're going to be okay. I promise. My heart to yours. And you're in my prayers, and you're in my Buddhist chanting. Both.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for Sacred Insight with Andrea Baker. Live from mindbodynourish.etsy.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Sacred Insight on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sacred Insights. I'm Andrea Bacon. Thank you for joining me today or whenever you are listening. I appreciate it. So on today's show, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the energy for the week, what we might want to know to be prepared ahead of time, and get some angel and spirit-led messages. So we are going to have a full moon in Virgo at the end of this week. And Saturn is near the full moon that's taking place, which can bring slightly heavier energy sometimes, So things will start to feel lighter soon after the full moon, if you're feeling that. But it can bring some lessons that can come up for you. It doesn't necessarily mean that will happen, but it's just something to be aware of. So this is a time that's coming up to shed past dramas. So sometimes the full moon can bring up more volatile emotions to the surface. You know, conflicts from the past might present themselves to you, or you might just be thinking about them more lately. So being mindful of your thoughts, which will allow you to release them and to not hold on to them. And in doing this, you won't be as likely to take it out, whether it be on yourself, whether it be projecting it onto other people. So, you know, taking it out on yourself could look like emotional eating or excessive numbing of emotions or negative self-talk. And all this can lead to some unhealthy patterns if we engage for too long in this. Sometimes these are, you know, patterns that we can get into without really realize it when they're happening. But just being mindful of it and what is coming up for this, it's always a good idea to do that. So doing this can look like writing things down when they're coming up for you. And this is going to help release it. It's going to help it become more aware. And this is really simple shadow work, which is really important. Being on the spiritual path, this is the kind of stuff that shadow work that we do, and it actually really helps us be able to step into our spiritual gifts as we release, heal, and grow and evolve. And just becoming, you know, mindful instead of denying our emotions, instead of suppressing them. And so you can take a few minutes on a daily basis to kind of de-stress. And that's always a good idea. But, you know, meditate to kind of just take longer than normal, deeper breaths. Doing a body scan, maybe feeling where your body feels a little bit more tense, a little bit more tight, you know, releasing with an exhale and sitting in silence and just kind of noticing what's on your heart and not judging it, not making it mean anything, but just noticing it, just allowing it to be and holding space for yourself and kind of supporting yourself and being there for yourself. This can be done on a daily basis, and it doesn't have to take hardly any time at all, or you can take longer if you want to, but it's just a great way to distress. And, you know, stress comes up pretty regularly, you know, at times for people. And so if you just take a minute a day, a couple times a day to tap into this peaceful energy, because that peaceful energy is a part of you. It's always there within you. Okay, things can just kind of get overshadow it in a way. So it's about going back within and reconnecting to that. And yeah, just doing it a couple times a day if you want. Releasing, this is a great way to release that I was talking about. And, you know, kind of that heavier energy, things that might trigger you, it can help you from engaging in conflicts or projecting onto other people and that type of thing. So some of the cards I pulled for this to get some spirit messages. Now, I love it when spirit does this because these came out after I tapped into the energy for that first part. And we have focus, take a breath, and then communicate. Okay. And so, you know, you can't really make this stuff up with how this kind of came out, but so here you are focusing, okay, being mindful of how you feel, like we were just saying. That can be really quickly. It can just go by in a flash. So it's about picking up on it, especially if you find yourself becoming more and more agitated a little right afterwards, going back and seeing what you were just thinking about. But we want to catch that stuff quickly when we can. And then here you are with the take a breath card, and you're doing that meditation or just connecting to those peaceful stillness that is always within us. Kind of getting out of your own way and releasing some of that stuff you're carrying. Releasing it out of your aura, out of your energy. And, sure, it can come up again another time because sometimes stuff happens in layers, and that's fine, that's normal. However, it just really helps you to put you in this state of feeling lighter, feeling more balanced, more aware of your own stuff. And then from that beautiful balanced energy, then we go in and have communication. And this helps prevent conflicts, and it helps things be much more understood in their own alignment instead of miscommunication and that type of thing as well. Okay. With the moon, we've got Yin Moon with this other card here. 1 second. Accepting help. This is another big important piece of the puzzle here, because here you're in a state of being open and receptive and allowing others and the universe to give to you what you need, maybe extra help, maybe some love, maybe some support, whatever it is that you need. And this is kind of releasing resistance. So now we're no longer in a state of resisting what is coming up. We're not resisting, what happened. We're releasing it instead of resisting it. And so anytime we're feeling burdens from the past coming up, which definitely can come up with the energies at play, which is why I'm bringing it up. That kind of stuff that came up before, it probably wasn't even your fault. And then, some of you, I was picking up energies where some of you may not have really been allowed to be yourself growing up, having that self-expression. You may have felt stifled. So that could be like you weren't allowed to go out with your friends that you really wanted to, or, you may have had too much responsibility and that type of thing. And maybe you felt left out. But whatever it is, some of you may have gotten too much criticism growing up, as well as not enough encouragement. So the energy in your environment could have felt heavy at times. And I think, people go through that at different times in their life. Not everybody, but there could have been disrespect given to you. And then in some way, you kind of could have gotten to relationships later on down the road where you were kind of repeating those types of things. So, just kind of like your free spirit may have felt a little trapped, where you wanted to be out in nature playing with the fairies. So the fairies were coming up too as well with this, because you have that natural free spirit about you, and that beautiful inner child does. And for some of you, you weren't really allowed to do that. And so that could be metaphorical as well as literal. But, if there's this energy of old-fashioned things that were kind of placed on you, where kids couldn't really be kids enough, then that can really affect you and what it is that you really feel that you're allowed to bring in your life when it comes to goals, when it comes to healing and manifesting, and kind of living a life that is more joyful, more creative, and this limitless, unbound, pure potential that is available to all of us to tap into and bring in more happiness, more abundance, and, just kind of letting go of beliefs that really aren't serving you. So those antiquated belief patterns that you may have projected on you, or that you just kind of like started believing because of the environment that you may have been in. But whatever it is, about your having the manifestations in your life that you're wanting to bring in, you are able to create something new and something different. And all of this stuff coming up at this time is a really great time to bring that stuff in. Okay, and then we have the light and the darkness. which the meaning of this card is ancestors, generational shift. So you're shifting from those generational patterns that may not be serving you anymore. And it's not to say that it didn't have a purpose at the time, because these kind of things really can build character, help you become, a hard worker and that type of thing. But at this point, if there's some shifts that you want to make happen in your life, it's a really great time for that. And just becoming aware of and noticing those patterns. And then we have once was innocent. So this is that beautiful inner child healing. Knowledge means change. So being aware is that knowledge that's going to affect the way that stuff had on you, the effect it had on you. And this is, empowering for yourself. You're able to take your power back and maybe do some cord cutting. I like to call him Archangel Michael for cord cutting. Cord cutting could be for anything, but it could be for beliefs that aren't serving you, to help kind of release them from your energy. So you can do that if you feel called to. This is just for, you can take what resonates from this and, be able to help yourself kind of feel a little bit more harmonious and balanced. Okay, so I hope that helps. And that is what I have for you today. If you want to check out what I have for readings and services, you can go to stan.store/mediumandrea. And you can always email me at andrea.bacon444@gmail.com. But yeah, just have a beautiful week and have a great full moon. And just remember to not let the emotions get the best of you. But have a wonderful day, evening, and week. Thank you for joining me.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Soulfully Guided with Carmel Ann. Live from soulfullyguided.com.au. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Soulfully Guided on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another show of Soulfully Guided. I'm your host, Carmel Ann. I'd like to basically, as always, thank our network, A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV, and to you as well for tuning in and listening. So if you haven't been watching, I recommend to go back. We're doing a gifted children series, and we've been doing it for a little while now. And look, today, once again, taking it really breezy and enjoying the space of just comfortably speaking and sharing things from my heart rather than try and script it or memorize it, which it's been a challenge for me, but you noticed the shows run much better from the heart than something that you're trying to perfect. So what I thought I would do today, and I know the topic, I don't know which way it's going to swing, but and how I'm going to share and what I'm going to share, but I wanted to share my story in particular about my gifts and the effects it had on me. It's not always bad. I think if we raise our children understanding who they are and they're not weird and embrace it as a complimenting, quirky, fun, connected and eccentric in their own beautiful right, because eccentric is a compliment in my world. And I don't, if we can avoid children experiencing being connected with their gifts, because not everyone is and not every child will be, even though we have this, this big understanding that everyone has their own gifts and how we connect with it is unique and makes us special in our own right. But as, for me, it wasn't a pleasant experience. And I felt like the lack of understanding of myself and what I could do, the lack of knowledge and communication, which we spend a lot of time talking about communication. You see, instead of opening up like I did as an adult, as a child, I shut down. And first, before I shut down my gifts, I shut down my personality. I would switch off in primary school. I was very lonely in primary school. I didn't connect to people. I had very little friends and, I guess being picked last would have been a bonus, but not being picked at all was a real challenge. And I guess if I understood me better, life would have been a lot different and my childhood would have been a lot more pleasant, especially in primary school. High school was very different for me. But as I said, there was early on in the series, there was a moment where I experienced an astral travel, an out-of-body experience, and I was able to somehow shut my gifts off. It meant that I was closed to my gifts, but they weren't particularly open to me. So I feel that my gifts underdeveloped me and they made me shut off. I had troubles learning, and only until my first year out of high school, when trauma hit and I realized, oh my goodness, I've at 16 and a half, both parents I'd lost. So trauma did shock the smarts into me and made me, at primary school, I would shut off. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't understand anything and I couldn't learn. And I feel like my gifts shut me down to the point that I began to develop learning difficulties. And still to this day, there's some basic information that I can't calculate properly, or, basic things. I missed that boat. But in high school, I was able to, in university, I was able to articulate and become really intelligent. And I eventually got psychologically testing, which I fluked my way through to getting because I was interested to know about myself. And I realized I was a high cognitive functioner. And but still, the things I should have learnt at high school, excuse me, which were well beyond me, to understand then. And my only thing was to daydream and to lose myself in my gifts, which I didn't want and didn't consider them as gifts. So I couldn't make friends because I felt weird and I didn't connect with people. I was lonely and school lunches were really boring, and I was worried people would know that I could understand what, things that were going to happen or things that a child would generally not connect with or understand. And I've gone through the series to say some of my gifts, and it completely changed the aspect and the direction and the potential that I could have had and the friendships I could have had as a child. And I can't emphasize enough the right communication and investigation. When we encourage our children, it's not to encourage or push their gifts. It's, in a sense, to encourage who they are. And that might enhance their gifts, but the goal is not to say, I want to gift a child, but how do I manage that my child can be comfortable to be themselves and create friendships and social networks rather than having social delays or learning delays within school. And things changed in high school, and I became a little more confident. I seemed really confident, but I began hanging out with cool people, and I guess I'm likable, but I never consider myself popular, although throughout, probably from 14 to about 30, there were some very popular big groups in my life and great big popular people and crowds that I hung around with. But I also felt like I got lost in that crowd and my empathy didn't fit the criteria of popularity. And so high school was amazing. It was fun. I was having friends for the first time in my life, real friends. But I also found myself a floater where I would hang out with people from all different levels, and my group would say, what are you doing? You come and hang out with us. And I probably still am a floater, and I am connecting with people better, but it's not that I don't give all of myself to people. I do. But also those essential years in childhood sort of left a mark on me. And while I'm happy and I have some great friendships in my life now, taking it back to the essentials, we can't remove my childhood from my adulthood, even though I'm a completely different person. I was an introvert and now I'm an extrovert, and sometimes I revert back to introvert. So I want to make this experience, if you have a gifted child or a child that is connected with their gifts, as pleasant as possible. And, as I started, so there's no denying for me, I became a substance user and there was a lot of trauma involved, and I can't distinguish the beginning of the effects of the trauma or the gifts that I had or my own natural personality, because I don't even know what my personality was as a child. I didn't get the chance to discover that. So while I'm happy with who I am today, it took a good 35 years to love myself, to understand that I wasn't normal, and the things that were happening back then, I kind of became spiritual again. It started happening again at 30 years old, and I eased my way into it, and it was like it fit like a glove, and everything made sense. And I don't want your child to wait, or your loved ones, if they're children, or even adults, I don't want them to wait a lifetime before they get to know themselves and love themselves freely and not be limited, not let their gifts and what they can do limit them and their quality of life. I was able to overcome the learning difficulties, but not until trauma had really hit. And I thought, oh, I need to make something of my life. And sadly, it went the other way for me, but I was able to correct that. In my life really happened in my 30s. And if it weren't for the man I met and married, it would have been a very, very different story. So I don't know how much percentage to attribute that to, trauma, gifted, where did my substance abuse happen? So the line is quite blurred, and there's not always going to be straight, black and white answers. The world is full of color and so much information, and each of us are individual and unique in our own right. So each child, and that's where I say you are the expert of your child. You may not be an expert at spiritualism, and even us talented people aren't always complete experts because we're always learning. But that was my story, I guess, growing up. And there's a lot more detail in between, but it took me a long time to find myself. And I hope that this series can help your child find themselves sooner and be comfortable with who they are, rather than feeling the need to shut down, because it is a wonderful gift to have. But I don't consider the innocence of a child can really understand what they're able to do, and that might shut their personality down, or it might have the other effect for them. And so thank you for watching this series and for hearing a bit of my story. I'll tune in actually next week. We'll be watching a replay because I'm going on a working holiday, which I'm really excited about. And we'll see you the week after with some more informative sessions about being a gifted child.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Guide to Light with Martina Billig. Live from guidetolight.com.au. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, ask1radio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Guide to Life on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, it's Martina Billick and welcome to the Guide to Light show. I'm so happy you're joining us today and thank you to A1R, Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. So this week I thought we might do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk a little bit about clairaudience as some of my mentee students are doing clairaudience this week. So clairaudience is all about clear hearing. It's being able to hear outside of our normal phase of perception, okay? So with clairaudience, and I'm actually fixing my earphones now, how fun is that? With clairaudience, sometimes you'll hear it internally inside your head, or sometimes it will sound externally just outside your head, almost like you're physically hearing something. So when you train this beautiful gift, sometimes you can hear it quite loudly and it sounds like it's outside your head. But when you are starting, clairaudience will sometimes just will sound inside your head. Some signs of clairaudience is ringing or tonal sensations within the ear, and they'll usually happen from one ear to the other, and they'll happen at different times, usually when it's quiet. Often people refer to these as downloads or that you are receiving messages from spirit. If it does persist, please see your doctor. However, other signs of clairaudience or clairaudience kicking in is when you're waking up with music on your mind. You will have a song going on and on in your head. If you start Googling that song, have a look at the lyrics because there's a reason why that's happening. Often it is a message from spirit, but I also like to think that it's also our higher self giving us messages as well. So have a look into it. Some more signs of clairaudience, or if you are a clairaudient, is that you'll remember things through how it sounds. So, for example, if it's a person in particular, you'll remember their laugh or their voice is very deep. When you go somewhere new, like walk into a room, the first thing you will notice is sounds, like if there's a humming from a refrigerator or the sounds of people talking or anything that's going on. So there's some signs of clairaudience. It is a very easy gift to train. This is what I love about clairaudience because we are listening all the time. With our eyes, we can close them and shut them off. Our ears, we literally have to really plug them up. So that's one thing. I often like to sit down quietly and just listen to things around me. So things that are very close. And then I will spread that out further and further like a spiral till I can hear into the street and then I'll bring it back. And by doing this for a few minutes a day, it can really train that clairaudience and then switching from ear to ear. So let's get into some readings. I thought I might do some readings on blockages and why these blockages are happening and how to get through them. So to break it up and make it easier, I'm going to do each element of the zodiac sign. So earth, air, fire, and water. Okay, so let's start off. So we'll start off with earth, only because that's me, because I'm a Taurian. And we'll do Virgo and Capricorn, so earth signs. And I'll pull an oracle card as well. So earth signs, let's have a look at the blockages coming up this week and why they're happening and how to get through them. Okay, so we've got 10 of Wands reversed, we've got the Chariot upright, and then we have got the King reversed, King of Cups. Okay, so looking into this, so for blockages, the 10 of Wands reversed is showing that they're getting to the point where you're going to be very, very overwhelmed. And maybe it's that impending feeling of being overwhelmed coming up that is starting to really block you from actually pursuing and for pushing forward. Often when we know that the work's going to get harder, sometimes we'll really try and pull back. And I know earth signs are notorious for it, but it's just the last big push coming up. The reason why, and this is what I just said before, we've got the Chariot, lots of things to do, lots of things to control, so many reins to hold on to. So it's time to really pull that in and to get that control, okay? Don't let the fear of hard work hold you back from pushing through and getting to your goal, okay? So now, how to get through it. We've got the King of Cups reversed, which is telling me, stop telling everybody about your problems. Now I'm talking to myself here. Often we like to let everyone know how hard we're working or how much stuff we have to do. Keep it to yourself, put your head down and your butt up. Look what this guy's doing and start working like that, okay? That's the earth signs and that's your advice for the week. I'll take that on as well. So next we have got our beautiful air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Let's have a look. Okay. Blockages. Oh my goodness, here we go again. Okay, so we've got the Ten of Wands upright for your blockages. Strength is Y. And we've got the Knight of Wands reversed, which is how we're going to get through it. Okay, so blockages, complete overwhelmment from working too hard. This is when you're at the end of doing something, and it might be you might be absolutely exhausted. But I want you to know that there is a light in sight at the end of the tunnel. Okay, this hard work is for a really good reason. Now, what I want to tell you is the reason why this has happened is because you've had to use a lot of inner strength to get to this point. And actually, you might be feeling quite drained. This inner strength, I want you to know, is an eternal battery, and you can always have something left in the tank. So please keep going. So for you to get through it, we've got the Knight of Wands reversed. Okay, so don't try and skip things or jump over things to finish quickly. Just keep going. Keep going. Remember, what you do in little things is what you do in big things in life. Okay, so don't try and do like a fast ending to something. I want you to take your time with it like you've done already. I hope that resonates with you guys. Okay, so fire signs, here we go. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And so blockages, why, and how to get through it. Oh, okay, so we've got a big card here. So for blockages, we have the Emperor, authority. Authority is the issue at this point in time. If you're having some troubles with authority, that's not unlike a fire sign to have. This is for you, okay? The reason why that's happening, with the Queen of Cups reversed, you need to be showing more kindness. You need to be showing more nurturing. You're probably been feeling that authority is stepping over you or stepping on your toes. I want you to retract, pull back, and bring that kindness back out, that nurturing nature that you do have back out. Use your fire for passion rather than pushing, okay? Now, how to get through it. The Four of Pentacles. Security, feeling secure again, okay? I want you to start realizing that you are secure and you are divinely supported. If you're feeling challenged by authority, it's because you're worried that you aren't your own authoritarian yourself. You need to have sovereignty over your own energy. I hope that one resonates. Okay, so let's go here. What have we got? We've got water signs. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Let's have a look what's going on there. Okay, so we've got some swords here. Okay, so Five of Swords for blockages for our water signs. Okay, so here we've got the Five of Swords reversed. What this is telling me is that you haven't given yourself any rest. You have not given yourself any rest. You've been putting up with challenges for quite a bit, and you're not knowing when to pack up and go home, okay? So maybe if you've been fighting the big fight, it's time just to put down your weapons and walk away and know that your mental health and your physical health is more important, okay? The reason why this is happening, we've got the Six of Swords here. You need to start moving on from troubled waters. Sometimes because we're humans, we are so adaptable to pain, and that's mental pain as well as physical pain. It's time to move on, and knowing that time is a strength in itself. Here we have the Page of Cups on how to get through this, okay? So the Page of Cups, looking at yourself, being kind to yourself and loving yourself, being that youthful person again, not being that person who has to put up with everything to appear strong. Be be carefree and be young again in your heart. And this will help you move on, okay? When we put up those long fights with people, we often forget what we're actually fighting about. And I find that happens a lot when people come to me for readings. They wonder why all these things have gotten out of control. But it's because they've been having this fight for so long, they've forgotten what it's all about, okay? So all that energy is being dispersed and going into the ether and into nowhere. All right, so now let's have a look. I want to mention I'm going to be, completely forgot, at the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival, Wicked Festival in Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. It starts tomorrow and it goes for the whole weekend. So hopefully if you can make it, you can come and look for me. I'll be at the Guide to Light stall, which will be really exciting. Come and chat to me about psychic and intuitive development because I could talk underwater about it. And it'll be absolutely wonderful. Come and download my app because we have a very special offer on the weekend. Now, I think I'm just kind of looking at time. Oh, no, I've got some time. So let's pull some oracle cards, okay? Oh, yeah, so it's going to be a wonderful festival. Mind, Body, Spirit Festival is absolutely huge. I think they're predicting over 14,500 people to go through. So hopefully I've got enough little goodie bags for everyone. I've packed heaps of crystals. So that's what I've been doing today, is cleansing them, every individual crystal, because that's the kind of person I am. All right, so let's have a look at earth signs. What's our word for the week? Oh, music. Music. Find pleasure in music, earth signs. This could be meditation music. This could be just music that makes you feel happy, makes you feel loving. Music that you love to listen with someone, or go and see some live music. This is going to be your key to happiness for the week. Okay? Air signs, your key to happiness for the week. Oh, I just got chilled then. Well, it's good. Oh, follow your dreams. What a beautiful message. Beautiful message for our air signs. Follow your dreams. Whatever's been in your heart of hearts, either say it or do it. Just go and do it. It feels good, do it. That's what I always say. It'll end up good for me anyway. But follow your heart, follow your dreams. I always tell everyone that. Okay, so our beautiful fire signs. What is your word of the week? Where are you going to find your happiness? Oh, communication. I want you to open up these communication channels. If you've been ignoring text messages, stop doing it. It really upsets people. Send a message to your mum, to your dad, to your brother, to your sister, to an old friend. Open up those communication levels, okay? So communication is also being open to receiving communication too. Someone messages you, I want you to message them back, okay? That's very important. Okay, so we got our last one here. So our water signs. Our time is almost done. I'm going to set up at the festival this afternoon, so I'm pretty excited. Okay, let's have a look. Our water signs, nature. Get out there, get grounded, okay? So for our water signs, you forget to earth yourself, okay? Go to the beach, go in a pool, but please go and earth yourself. Get connected to nature. Hold a plant in your house. Go out there and get yourself some fresh flowers. But one way or the other, that's the way you're going to do it, okay? And I think that connecting to nature and grounding ourselves helps us make better decisions, keeps our head clear, and is wonderful for our mental health. Okay, so anyway, we're starting to finish up, and I had such a lovely time again today. But I hope that you'll join me next week. Please check out www.guidetolight.com.au and check out my beautiful app for psychic and intuitive development. It's for beginners, absolutely for beginners. But if you're better at doing it than a beginner, it'll be a wonderful way for you to practice. But I really hope that you go and have a look at that website, or join me on Facebook, add me on Facebook, and it's Martina Billick, Psychic Mentor. Thank you so much for joining us today.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Spiritual Connections with Psychic Medium Cindy. Psychic Medium Cindy. Live from Facebook.com/Psychic Cindy. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Spiritual Connection on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hey, hello everybody. This is my first night here on A1 Psychic Radio, and I'm super excited. So I just want to tell you a little about myself. My name is Cindy. I am a psychic medium, and I've been connecting with spirits for a long, long time. And as I got older, started seeing them more, and they sort of pushed me into sharing my gifts with you guys. So I'm super excited to be able to do that. I am in Nova Scotia, Canada, where there is lots of snow and it's really, really cold. So it's nice to be able to do, shows from home. So you don't have to go outside so much when you live in the cold weather. Like I said, I was kind of pushed into like sharing my gift with the world. So in order to be able to do that, I've taken a lot of courses, read a lot of books, followed a lot of other mediums who've worked with me as mentors, given me the the confidence and the courage to be able to come on here tonight and share my gift with you guys. So I think what I'll do tonight is focus more on card reading. In the future, as time goes on, I'll do some mediumship here with you guys. But I think tonight, let's just look at the cards. So I think what I'll do is we're halfway through February, so let's do end of the month, mid-month reading. Okay, so let's start with that, and then after that we'll get a caller. So what's the next 2 weeks going to look like for all of us? Let's see what Spirit has to say. What do we need to know to get through this month of February? All right, so the base chakra is actually our sort of energy for the month. So we're just kind of like, working on, maybe our careers, where maybe like getting some new opportunities, maybe thinking about some new paths, some new choices. Maybe doing some work at home, like getting some renovations done or thinking about getting renovations done. But whatever it's going to bring, the theme is transformation. So there's definitely some new things happening for all of us. So we're looking at number 4, which is building that firm foundation. And we're spreading those wings. Look at those wings. Like we are ready to like transform, start a new path, be a new career, like I said, because the next card is the firm foundation card. So we're definitely really strongly working on building a new firm foundation, maybe focusing on our finances, maybe saving a little bit. The world's really expensive. So this is a good time for us to like sort of, maybe save some money. But next we have the heart chakra. Oh, this is beautiful. So we're opening up our hearts. We're like bringing in the love. We're, I really feel it. We're almost looking at like our dreams are coming true, like we're going to get that. Look at that. Can't lie, can I? Right? I can't make this stuff up. Number 9, we got the material harvest card. This is you're going to reap your material harvest. You're going to reap what you sow. You work so hard. Maybe it's this new career. Maybe you're going to make some extra money. But whatever it is, it's really, really good. And the takeaway is just to have patience. This is like temperance in the old tarot. This is the number 5. So there is going to be some changes, but just be patient. Know that the universe is listening to you. Know that you have, put your intentions out there. They're listening to you. Looks like it's going to be a lot about getting a new career, making some extra money, maybe getting a job promotion. Anyway, really pleased to see that for the end of February for everybody, because we so need it. But now I have Jerry Ann. We have Jerry Ann from Medicine Hat, Alberta. Hi, Jerry Ann.
Hi there.
Hi, thanks for calling in.
Thanks for accepting it.
Oh, yeah, no problem. So, I'm on the other side of the country, in Nova Scotia. It's pretty cool. So, Jerry Ann, what's your question for me tonight?
Whatever comes up.
Whatever comes up. Okay, nice. That makes it easy. It's whatever Spirit wants to tell you.
Yep.
Okay, Jerry Ann, so the first card that I pulled for you is the discontent and boredom card. which is, not an uncommon card for us to get in the winter in Canada, for sure. We don't do an awful lot in these kind of months, most of us. But the 4 is all about building a firm foundation. You can kind of see, he's got his head down. He's not looking too happy. But that window right here, the window, that's what I'm trying to get to, always means that when God closes the door, he opens the window. So something good is coming. Whatever this boredom is, however you're feeling, is going to go away because God is opening something to you. The next card you have is the patience and planning card. So this really, truly is about a new success that's coming in. The number 7 means success. You got the 2 pillars here, which are about strength, and the gold is about rewards, but you do have to be patient and you do have to make some plans. And I think February would be a perfect time to sort of maybe even write down some plans, like what do you want? What's going to come in for you though is this beautiful number 1, love begins. So this is number 1 is the new opportunity. The rainbow is the good after the bad. The water trickling down is all about abundance. And truly, one of my favorite cards. This could be about a relationship. This would be the Ace of Cups if I was using the old tarot. And it really, or it could be just about new opportunities. Something is going to be offered to you, like I said. So whether it's a new romance or it's a new job or whatever it is, whatever's going on, there's going to be a little bit of a waiting game. And the number 2 means choice. And the thing about this card, what makes this card so beautiful is that it's always worth the wait. When you get this card, it's like, yeah, I've been waiting, things, it's probably really much reflects that first card, that discontent and boredom, because you're waiting for something to come in and it's going to be worth it. It's going to be well worth it. So I'm really happy to see that card for you. And like I said, the number 2 is usually about choices. So I think there's probably a couple of things coming in. So it's either a couple of things or a couple of people, a couple of options, because you have the number 2, which is a bit of a waiting game, but it's also about choices. And then your next card is choose wisely, which is number 7. And I am fairly focused on these 2 birds. So that it gives me the indication that this is a choice between two things or 2 people. Another green. So it's another cups card, which is about, usually about relationships. So you're going to have 2 people to choose from, but that's okay because I really feel in my heart you are going to make the right choice. And then we have another number 2. So the choice that you make is going to bring balance into your life. It's just going to be wonderful for you, right? You're going to have that mind, body, and soul balance. You're going to feel really good. You're going to know that you made the right choice. Lovely reading for you. Interesting, because it looks like there's definitely 2 options, but discontent and boredom card is coming to an end. How does that sound?
The which is coming to an end?
The discontent and boredom card, that first card that I pulled?
Yep.
That's coming to an end.
Okay. But just be patient.
Yeah, have patience.
Okay.
It would, do you have any questions do you want me to explain anything a little bit more for you, or?
Well, I believe I'm called to do a couple of different things, and I'm not sure of the right direction. Okay. I know that I'm capable of working with energy and doing healing and stuff like that. But I've also been getting, almost feel like I'm getting channeled messages coming through.
Nice. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, pay attention to them because I feel that based on these cards, it looks like, especially with the 2s and the choices and stuff, they're giving you some choices. So pay attention to those choices, and then ask them to sort of give you a sign about where what direction you should take. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. All right. Thanks for calling in. and have a great night. All right, so thanks very much to Jerry Ann from Alberta, Canada. That was awesome reading. I think she's going to make some really great choices there. So if you want to contact me for a private reading, you can contact me at Psychic Medium Cindy. Follow me on Facebook. You'll see where I'm at, what I'm doing. Might get up and daily cards. I do some free readings on there, usually a couple times a month. I'm on Instagram at Psychic Cindy 2022. And you can also email me at psychicmediumcindy@gmail.com. And from there, we can go over the details. If you're in Canada, you can e-transfer me for my usually charge. I charge $30 for 15 minutes, $50 for 30 minutes, $80 for an hour. And I will give you all those details through an email. And we can do it through Skype. We can do it through Zoom. Lots of options. If you are in the States or any other country, it will be through PayPal. But thank you so much. It was so exciting being here. It was awesome to be able to do that reading for Jerry Ann. I really appreciate that. I hope you guys get something out of that last 2 week spread too for February, because February is almost over, guys. It's almost over. So thanks everybody. Thanks for everything that's happened tonight. Having me here tonight, it's been awesome. And I'll see you guys next week.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Amanda Hall Psychic with Amanda Hall. Live from AmandaHallPsychic.com.au. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, ask1radio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Amanda Hall Psych on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio here on Moonstruck TV with Amanda Hall Psychic, all the way from the Gold Coast. Hope you had an absolutely amazing Valentine's Day wherever you are in this world of ours. I know for me personally, I got spoiled rotten, lots of flowers and candy and lots of things, and take it out for dinner. And, you know, it's a time of love. It's a time of when we should celebrate love. And even if we aren't in love with another person, we can celebrate ourselves of just being alive and being proud of who we are. Anyway, so this week's another week, and Valentine's Day's passed for another year. So the Simply Tarot card of the week this week is, I'm going to say an unusual card, because it's one of the cards that when I used to teach a lot of tarot, people always got confused when we came to people. When we came to knights, pages, kings and queens, they always had a very puzzled, stumped look on their face. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is this. Anytime that you see a knight card come out, it usually represents somebody up to the age of 25 years of age, and it is a male. Now, in my experience, when you've had children, as many of us have, you always look at your children as being children. You don't consider that because they're 40, they still come out to you as a child. So they will still come out as a knight if it's a male, and if it's a female, as a page, no matter what age they are, because they're your children. And we always tend to look at them as thinking of them as being tiny tots and, you know, people we've still got to protect even though they're grown-ups in their own right. So the Knight of Pentacles is a young man up to the age of 25 years of age. He has dark hair, dark eyes, could have olive complexion. The secondary meaning is visitors. Now, that means somebody coming to visit, you know, somebody coming in for a cup of coffee, a chat or whatever, with a message to share. Now, this day and age, you know, a lot of people tend to sort of think of visitors as things like, well, we've got a text message or an email or somebody's on a chat somewhere or in a chat room with us, but that's like a visitor. I'm a little bit old-fashioned. I like to think of somebody knocking on the door and coming in person is when I see this card, visitors with messages to share. But it can be the secondary meaning of just some important message that's coming through, somebody that you care about, somebody that you know. It's not a random, it's something there that there's a message that's important to share with you. Okay, so moving on to the astrology section this week. It's always very interesting when we sort of move into the astrology section. I get lots of messages about this, that people say that they really hang on every word, and that's lovely. But you've got to understand, everything that we do on this show is only ever a guide. It's not something that you can go and say that is the actual gospel truth. It's my interpretation of how the planetary configurations are dancing around the zodiac this week. And somebody else might look at it and have a completely different take on how the planets are going to affect people. So my general rule of thumb is, it feels right for you, adopt it. If it doesn't, then discard it, because we all have a different way of interpreting information. And it's a little bit like Chinese whispers. You can start out with one version of it, and by the time it gets to the end of the line, the stories change completely. So, you know, any sort of psychic science can be a little bit that way too. This is my interpretation of astrology. So this week we're happy to say that the sun has moved into Pisces, so happy birthday to all the Pisceans out there. It's one of my favourite times of the year, because I always sort of think of, collectively, it's the end of the zodiac year. I was going to say the Chinese New Year, got nothing to do with it. The end of our zodiac year. It's the final sign. A lot of astrologers affectionately call Pisces the dustbin cycle. I really get offended when I hear that. To me, Pisces is a really ultimate sort of energy, because they can collectively draw on the energies and the wisdom and the not so positive parts of the previous 11 signs and amalgamate it into their own, plus add their own flavour, their own adventure. So the Pisces energy to me is very important, because it's mutable, which means it's flexible, it's very creative, it can be very gentle. It can also be very firm when it needs to be too. So don't ever underestimate a Pisces just because they seem a little bit dreamy or a little bit more on the gentle side. Rub them up the wrong way and you'll know about it, because they have a backbone there that is far surpasses even sort of the more fixed and rigid sort of signs. So just be a little bit aware of that. But they generally are normally nice, easygoing sort of people, the people that you like to have as a friend, because they're very, very genuine and really, really do care about you. So happy birthday to all the Pisceans. And no, I'm not a Pisces. So we have the sun, which is in Pisces at the moment, is conjunct or holding hands Saturn. Now, Saturn's the planet of discipline, of structure, of limitations, restrictions, things that we need some sort of definite direction for. You know, we need some extra oomph in our lives. You know, sometimes we need, I like to use this word, stickability. We need to stick to something a little bit more and see it through to the end. That's what Saturn brings to our lives. A lot of people affectionately call Saturn the father figure or the taskmaster planet, and I suppose he is a little bit like that. He sort of comes in and wields a big stick and says, yes, you're all going to behave yourselves and do as I tell you. But at the same time, what he's trying to do is teach you lessons, teach you structure, teach you that anything that's worth having in life is worth putting the effort into it, that you really do have to sort of, you know, really make sure that you've got everything on a very solid foundation. So with the sun here conjunct Saturn, what the sun is sort of saying is, you know, here I am, I want to, you know, bring up some positive energy to the world at the moment. I want everybody to sort of start to feel a little bit creative, be a little bit happy. You know, sometimes go for a little bit of a trip down memory lane. Sometimes be a little bit like Peter Pan and not wanting to grow up. But then Saturn comes along and says, well, that's all well and fine for a certain period of time, but we do have to behave like a grown-up because we're living in a grown-up world. So, yes, it's great to daydream and have fantasies and look at the gentler side of life or look for a creative solution, but don't forget to back it up with something that says structure and that we're going to complete the task and we're going to move forward. So I hope that helps you understand that. That relates to all the 12 signs, particularly, yes, the water signs of Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, and the opposite sign of Virgo, but it filters through to all the other remaining 8 signs as well of the zodiac this week. So make sure that, you know, you get your creative hat on, but make sure there's some structure and some guidelines and some rules that go along with it. We have Venus, the planet of love and affection, is conjunct or holding hands Mars in Aquarius. Now, Venus in Aquarius is an unusual way to describe Venus. Venus in Aquarius dares to be different. It likes to look for love in places that other people would consider the wrong place to look, that, you know, you don't want somebody like that because they're a bit bohemian or a bit way out, a bit different. They think differently to us. They dress differently to us. And Venus in Aquarius thrives on that and says, well, just watch me. You know, the more you say you don't like somebody, the more appealing they become to me. So you need to be careful if somebody has Venus in Aquarius in their chart, that they sometimes do choose people that are socially unacceptable to the rest of us. Sometimes you find people with Venus in Aquarius are attracted to drug addicts or murderers or people that society thinks is unacceptable. Sometimes it's just straight out that they attract people that are like-minded souls, people that dare to be a little bit different, that have a broader view of the world and what love should be about. They're not necessarily tied up in a little box. So when you've got Venus conjunct Mars here, yes, it's definitely going to be affecting the air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, but it's also affecting the opposite sign of Libra. So it's asking you here that if you are starting a new relationship and you're one of those signs, make sure that you're very careful about it. Make sure that it's exactly what you want. Make sure that you're not just attracted to it because this person is boisterous and loud and sort of is showing you action and sort of making you feel important because they dare to do things that other people don't dare to do. It's nice to have somebody that has some ambition and some drive, but make sure it's for the right reasons. Yes, this will flow on to the other remaining 8 signs, but it waters itself down as it goes along. So my answer to this is, if you are seeking love and you meet somebody special or somebody new this week, make sure that you're not just blown away by the excitement of somebody that's very super strong, dares to be different, likes to break the law or do something that other people find socially unacceptable, and that's just the main attraction. Make sure that there's other layers there at the reasons why you're attracted to this person and see whether or not it can stand the test of time. My advice would be take it slow. Yes, it's nice to meet somebody that's different and outside of what the type of person you normally attract, but make sure it's for the right reasons. Now, we have Mercury, the planet of communication, is in Aquarius. So Mercury in Aquarius always means that we want to think differently, we want to speak differently, we want to sort of shock people into listening to what we've got to say. And sometimes when Mercury is sitting in Aquarius like this, and this applies to all of us, sometimes we can say things without thinking. Sometimes we say things just to get someone's attention, and we don't really mean it. It's like, I'll shock them into listening to me, or I'll get their attention. If I say this, they'll listen to me then. So we need to make sure that if we're going to use that tactic, we're using it for the right reasons, that we're not just doing it to bring the attention back to us, that we need to be sort of looking at things and sort of saying, okay, what is the reason that I'm going to take a different route of communication to get somebody's attention? Why are they not listening to me? Are they preoccupied? Do they not think that this is a good idea? Or do they not just want to listen to what I've got to say? Now, Mercury is in Aquarius, is conjunct or holding hands the sun that's just gone into Pisces. So the sun here is trying to sort of say to each and every one of us, there's a creative or a softer way of sort of maybe presenting this. Mercury's sort of saying, I'm going to make them listen. I'll get their attention by saying bang, 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 or doing this or standing on my head or whatever that's different that's going to get their attention. Where the sun is saying, now hang on a minute, stop, look and listen. There's a more creative way that we can get our message across that maybe we'll just get a little bit more traction. We can blend the both together. Yes, we can present it in a different way or give them new information, but let's present it in a way that's palatable, that we'll get more traction and we'll get further along. And that's probably the object of the situation. If you're going to do a presentation, or you need to go and talk to somebody in authority, or you're looking for a new job or a pay rise or whatever, don't just go in there like the bull in the china shop, telling them that you're going to get attention because you're so different and so much better than everybody else. Show them how you're going to be different than everybody else. Show them the creative side of you, of how you can bring more to the company. Then you do deserve that pay rise because you're thinking outside the square. You've got some innovative new ideas, and you've got your creative hat on, and, this is a win-win for everybody. So we have Saturn in Pisces, as I spoke about before. Now, Saturn in Pisces is like the father figure. It sort of wields the big stick, but also gives us the discipline or the structure to be able to achieve things that we want to achieve in our lives. Now, this next section is going to affect Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and the opposite sign of Virgo. It's also going to affect the earth signs, which is Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn, and the opposite sign is Scorpio. So these are the most important signs that this is going to affect. For the rest of the zodiac, it will be a much more watered down effect. So we've got Saturn in Pisces, saying that he can bring structure to our creative thinking, can bring some stability there. He's sextiling, which sextile in astrology means it's a very flowing, easy sort of planet configuration. It means everything's in harmony, everything's going to be easy. So we've got Jupiter, the planet of luck and opportunity, is sitting in Taurus. Now, when Jupiter's sitting in Taurus, it's safeguarding our money, our personal finances, the things that are important to us. So we've got Saturn creating the structure, the creativity, the way that we can present something or start something new. And we've got Jupiter saying, yeah, well, hang on a minute, I'll take care of the finances, but at the same time, we can expand everything out. We've got a good, solid foundation underneath us. So for people that might be looking to start up a new venture or start something new, this is actually the perfect time, particularly if you're a water sign or an earth sign. Not so much for the others, but there still certainly is luck there to be had. So if you're looking at new ventures, look at new creative ways that maybe you can bring the structure to it, that you can open up doors or open up markets that have been hidden to you before previously. Now, we're going to take our first caller on the show today, which is Grace in Sydney here in Australia. How are you, Grace?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Managing okay with all the storms down there, sweetie?
Yes. I see a little bit of sun outside today, so it's good.
Oh, wonderful. That's nice to hear. So do you have a question I can answer for you, please, Grace?
Yes. Currently I'm going through a divorce and custody battle.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering, it's long-standing. I'm just wondering, when is this going to end, and basically will I get the results that I want out of the custody battle?
Okay, Grace, look, it's always difficult when you're going through custody battles. I mean, technically we're not supposed to answer legal questions, but I'm not bound by that on this show. No, that's fine. So, but that's just general rule of thumb in psychic things, that we don't tamper with that, health and pregnancy. But what I can tell you is that I still feel that there's a little bit of waiting time. They're showing me not much action before May or June. Now, I know that's probably, oh God, not that long. We're only in February. But what I'm seeing here, the little bit longer that it takes, the better prepared or the better the result is for you. It's like your legal team is better prepared. I want to say it's almost like they're laying a trap for him. Like they've thrown a few things out there. It's like going fishing. I'll throw a bit of bait in the water, a bit of burley in the water, then we'll throw the bait in on the fishing line and see what we catch. So it's like they're deliberately trying to do that because they know, not just from what you've told them, but they know from their years of experience that a lot of the things that he's presented has so many holes in it. It's lies. It's now a matter of trying to bring it to a point that we can tie this up in a way that you'll be happy with it, even though it's dragged on. It's interesting because I keep going to say, I don't think he wants the children. He's just doing this to hurt you. Is that a fair assessment of the situation?
Sorry?
I said, is that a fair assessment of the situation? To me, I don't think he wants.
Absolutely. You are spot on. You are spot on. Everything he's done to me has been in spite because I have exposed his abuse towards me, and he had charges pressed on him. So he's done everything in his power now to get back at me.
Yeah, but it's not going to work. I believe you're going to get the result you want, and probably better than what you could even hope for. I mean, legal people always talk in the realms of, well, we can possibly expect this, or this might be a good outcome. They never say definitely we're going to achieve this, that or the other. They can't, because they never know, particularly if it's going to go before a judge, which I felt it was. I felt it was going to go to a higher authority. I felt it was going to go into a courtroom. I didn't feel it was just going to be, we're going to thrash out a settlement and everything's going to be okay. But by going in there, and I appreciate it's going to cost more money, but I feel you're going to get a better result. And it's sort of like, what will come down in the courtroom will be sort of set in stone. Like, there will be no room for negotiation or appeals or anything like that. So you've just got to hold firm, Grace, and know that you're on the right path. You have a lot of people on the other side helping you get through this. So every time you sort of feel like you can't take one more step, just take a breath and just put that next foot in front of the other and know that you're on the right path. But the children will thank you for it later on.
Oh, yeah, I was having a feeling last night. I didn't know whether to change lawyers or not. I was just getting a little bit frustrated, even though they did say they are trying to lay the foundation to get the best result for me, even though it might take a little bit longer.
Yeah, my interpretation of that is I'd stick with it, because what they showed me was they were trying to go, they were trying to bait him. They were trying to get him to fall into some traps. So, yes, they are trying to put a very rock-solid foundation underneath it. And, look, sometimes legal things just don't move as fast as what we'd like, unfortunately. No. But keep going, Grace. You're on the right path and you're protecting your children. So I wish you well, sweetie.
Thank you so much, darling. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're going to talk with Melissa now in Batesville in Arkansas.
Yes.
Are you there, Melissa?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a question I can answer for you, please, Melissa?
Well, not really, honey. Could I just get like a general maybe?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I just always ask because we have such limited time on the show and I want to make sure we get to what you need. First thing that they're showing me, Melissa, is that you've got some endings, changes and transformations coming up. So have you been working really hard on getting your life in some sort of order since about last June?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Because they're showing me all these red ticks. They're saying she's such a good girl. Look at all the ticks she's got. She's handling everything very well. One of the changes that's coming up, are you planning on making some changes to where you're living, or have you been thinking about the potential of moving? Because I've got question marks around where you're living.
Yeah, there has been some changes to where I've kind of looked into it, possibly, yes.
I don't feel it's the right time to move, though. Yeah, I don't think it's the right time to move yet. I'm sort of looking at least 18 months away before we need to even come back and visit it, and that would still be a little bit premature to me.
Exactly. That's the way I felt about it.
Good. Well, then I want you to follow that. They're also sort of, I keep going to say to you, I feel short of breath. Is that you, or has it been somebody that's been close to you?
Actually, I just had my best friend on Saturday night had a fall off of a porch, and she is now paralyzed from her shoulders down, and she's in surgery at this moment.
Right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. So, I mean, obviously it's too soon to know whether, the surgery, I mean, if she's paralysed, isn't she? There's probably no way from coming back from that.
Right. Yeah, we're talking trach and all, so you're dead on with the trouble breathing.
Yeah, it was like I couldn't swallow, and it was, yeah.
They just intubated her today.
Good. I don't want to say that it's going to shorten a life, and I don't want to say that it's going to be a miracle and she's not going to be paralysed, but I do think what they're going to find when they've done the surgery is the damage is not quite as severe as they first thought. So that's a good thing.
That's what we're praying for, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to be so pleased to see you. She is going to need a lot of help, though. Yeah. It's not going to be an easy road.
For quite some time, right.
Yeah, I feel so for quite some time. And I'm surprised in a way that they came through so strongly about your friend, obviously because that's on your mind too. But I'm trying to work out how that ties into you because, you know, they showed me that, yes, she's going to need help for quite some time, but they also very clearly showed me it wasn't your responsibility either. Do you know what I mean? Is to be a full-time care situation either. So,
yeah.
I mean,
I think it may be related to me with like an anxiety, maybe, you know, to do with me at this moment. I've had a lot of loss, a lot of changes here the last 3 years.
Right.
And,
well, maybe they're also telling you to sort of be a little bit kinder to yourself and catch your own breath. You know what I mean? Like, you're puffed out too from everything that's gone down. And maybe it's time to, you know, I'm not diminishing anything to do with your friend, but I'm saying maybe it's a dual message. You know, yes, there's her, but there's also, it's a little bit of a warning to you that maybe you need to slow down a little bit, Melissa, and take care of yourself too. You know, like you're running out of breath. You're running out of puff to sort of do too much more. I'm always hesitant to say that this is, you know, the end of any more passings just yet, but I sort of feel that's what it is. It's like we've put it on pause for a while, that you can catch your breath and sort of just rebuild your energy up and start to focus on you again for a change, because it's been a long time since we've been able to just focus on Melissa and Melissa to be able to go and do what you want to do when you want to do it. It seems to be all your adult life has been nothing but responsibility and taking care of people. And it's now time to take care of you. Yeah, but it's time to take care of you now. Is there someone special in your life, Melissa, somebody that, you know, you're in love with?
Well, yes, there's someone new. Yes, I hadn't dated in probably 15 years, and now, you know, I've started seeing someone last 8 or 9 months.
Well, they were showing me the most beautiful, big, ginormous pink heart. So usually when they show me something like that, that either there's someone new coming into your life or love is new. You know what I mean? It's new, it's fresh, it's shiny, it's exciting. And I just sort of felt he had the heart of gold, this man. He's just so caring, so loving, so giving. I can't fault him in any way. I think he's been sent to you from above. I really do, to sort of make you smile a little bit and, you know, make you sort of, not so much slow down, but take a little bit better care of you, you know, do some things for you that are going to make your heart sing. And I think that's really important. I really like him. He's going to be such a tower of strength to you. Not that you're going to need him to be a tower of strength, but just to know that he's there, that you've got someone to rely on, I think is such a weight off your mind. It's wonderful.
Yes, especially with all the change,
I just sort of feel that relationship's going to get a lot more serious, Melissa.
Okay.
So, you know, find out all this.
Slowly.
Talking about something a little bit more serious than just being boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right. Yes, well, I hope so. He seems to be a good one.
He is a good one, yeah, but he likes to take his time now. He's not in a rush to do anything, and I just sort of think by August he's going to be fumbling around and tripping over his words, and what he's trying to say is let's build a life together.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
It is kind of cute because he's like a teenager, you know, asking somebody out on the first date, the way he's tripping over his words and he's so nervous.
Well, that's funny because that's what we would say. We were like, gosh, we're just so giddy, like we're teenagers again or something.
Well, you're allowed to be like teenagers again. It's not just for the young. It's for all of us, you know, to have that giddy, heady sort of feeling when you first fall in love. I think that's part of the magic of it, isn't it? I mean, we didn't have that to be boring. You know, there's plenty of time to be serious and be a grown-up much later on. Let's enjoy the looking into each other's eyes and getting to know each other. And he is such a lovely man. The two of you are going to have such a wonderful life together. So I hope that's helped you, Melissa. And look, I'll send lots of loving prayers and everything to your friend today while the surgery's happening. That's where we're going to leave Melissa. This week I want to leave you with a song that has been around for a very, very long time, and I know it was a big hit in the US. It wasn't so much a big hit here in Australia, but it was a song that I somehow or another came across and was something that I went out and bought the album and enjoyed it even to this day. And it's Taylor Dayne, Love Will Lead You Back. And it's a beautiful love song about letting go of somebody and hoping that they're going to, you know, after their little adventure, find their way back to you, and, you know, the love that you shared will be even stronger. And I know in my day-to-day work, lots of people sort of, you know, contact me, have readings and whatever. And, you know, they're always looking for that love that got away, that, you know, is he coming back or is she coming back? And this song, I think, really epitomises that. So I want to leave you with Taylor Dane, and Love Will Lead You Back. Until next week, have an absolutely fantastic week wherever you are in this world of ours. Bye for now.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page. Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Elliot, your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner, coming to you live from the city of New York, where we had a huge blizzard and we got at least a quarter inch of snow. We haven't had much snow here, and there was a storm predicted for Tuesday, and the newspapers went crazy about, will this be the end of New York? You know, all that stuff. And the schools are canceled, and well, they don't really cancel class anymore. Kids don't get school days. They don't get snow days anymore because they have to do it remotely now, which of course, reminds me of the old saying that any optional technology soon becomes mandatory. But there's a lot of parents here who, I was going to say, that doesn't sound right. A lot of parents are revolting. But what I mean to say is there are a lot of parents who are letting their kids let them take a snow day off and go out and play in the snow, which is kind of funny because there's probably more frost in my freezer than there is snow out there in the streets of New York. And I've got a frost-free freezer. The thing is that their kids don't know the joy of waking up and seeing snow and finding out that they don't have to go to school today and they can go out and play in the snow because, first of all, who goes out to play anymore? But now they have to have school all the time. That was what happened. They showed people that they could do that. Well, here we are on Valentine's Day, and this is a wonderful thing. If you're listening to me on Valentine's Day, it could be worse. There are bad things that can happen on Valentine's Day too, but listening to me is not one of the worst ones that can happen to you on Valentine's Day. I have this running argument with my wife about Valentine's Day. It's not a big argument. It's only been going on for about 40 years. That I don't believe that Valentine's Day is for married people. We get anniversaries, you see. And every year I pull out the same lame argument, which is, suppose I go to the store and there's a beautiful heart-shaped box of chocolates for only $87.32, because that's shrinkflation, right? So it used to be 85, now it's $87.32 for less. And I buy the last. There's only one left, and I buy it. And then some poor schnook who's trying to get a box of chocolates for his girlfriend on Valentine's Day. Now he comes in and he can't buy it because there's none left. I bought the last one. Now he can't go back and tell her that. So he just packs up and he moves to another state, and we've ruined a good romance just for that. This is why, no. Married people do not get Valentine's Day. We get anniversaries for that. But I will tell you, since it is a special day, I'm going to tell you, this is just for the guys, which means, ladies, don't listen. Or actually do listen and tell them this. You will want to. There is a magical spell. There's a very simple magic spell that any couple can perform. The man, if there's a man out there in a relationship, and you want to make sure that is a good, positive, wholesome, happy relationship, there is a magic spell that you can use. It's only 2 words, and you can use this anytime, and I guarantee you that magically you'll end up with a happy relationship. And, if I was going to be cruel, I would say stick around to the second half of the show. But I don't rely on that kind of stuff. I'll tell you what it is right now. The magic incantation that will remove all doubt in your relationship, that will take your relationship up to the next level is, yes, dear. That's the one. That'll do it. Just learn how to say, yes, dear. And you've got it. You got it made. You're gonna have a relationship that'll last a lifetime, or at least feel that way. But anyway, here we are on Valentine's Day, as I said. Do people still celebrate that? Because I was reading how Gen Z is afraid to even use the telephone. So I have no idea what could you even get a date? Do you call anyone for dates? Are there restaurants doing Valentine's Day specials anymore? And what would a Valentine's Day special be anyway, given how expensive eating out got in the last few years? I cook. I mean, I really cook. I mean, I cook. I've always enjoyed cooking. It's one of the things I've liked doing, and it's come in very handy for me, gastronomically and financially. I'm not a chef. I guess I could be a chef. I read a book that said that what a chef is. The difference between a chef and a cook. A chef is a person who can get 9 different meals ready for 9 different people at the same table and have them all done at the same time. In other words, it's a culinary trick. But if you, my advice, seriously, if you guys out there, if you really want to be impressive to your dates, if they're willing to go to where you live, which, you know, who knows these days, get to learn how to cook at least one thing really well. I say that'll put you in good stead. You don't want to cook the same thing over and over for people, but who knows? You cook it, may never see that person again. Who knows? But like one of the things I did in my single days when I was stuffed peppers. That was my specialty, stuffed peppers. And then I graduated to crepes with caviar and champagne. Oh, brother, was that fun! And it doesn't have to be very expensive, champagne or caviar. See, there's ways to do all these things. Living a good life and enjoying things, there's tarot cards for that too, but it's not a matter of money usually. It's a matter of allocation of funds. We all can do that. There's always something that you can do to have a little money to enjoy things. Now, one of the things that I'm doing to help out in that regard is, since I missed so many shows the last year, illness and stubbornness and laziness, let's put it that way. But no, illness really. And hey, this is my 3rd show in a row, so we're on a streak here. We're on a roll here. A magical window roll. What I would suggest is, maybe it's not worth going into all that, you know, but I will. My tarot readings, you see, a tarot reading. Now here I'm gonna offer you something to buy, and I'm gonna do that by talking you out of it. You know, this is not salesmanship 101, you know, but. A tarot reading is pretty much a luxury. If you think tarot readings are a necessity and you do them a lot, you're doing something wrong, because it is pretty much a luxury item, and you can live without them. You could spend a little bit of money and learn how to do it yourself, but a lot of people don't like to read for themselves, and it's supposed to be not good because you won't get it. You'll get a biased reading, perhaps they say, but. That's neither here nor there, which is sort of like my brain processes right now. What I'm trying to get at, as I talk you out of it, is during times of stress and difficulty in the economy, I don't do much in the way of magic work, because it's time to get practical and mundane, to use a mundane word. And magic is for later. It's always a part of my life, but the really important things are just, getting down to business. And I missed so many shows, so I missed reading for a lot of people. And then because I was sick, I didn't do private readings either, so I missed that too. So what I'm getting at is, if you go to magic-works.com, you will see. There's my card shuffling up. You will see the rates that I charge for tarot readings. If you want to have a private reading, if you don't want to have hundreds of thousands of people listening to what you have to tell me, you want to do it privately, you can contact me and we can do a private reading by phone or by Skype or Zoom, if you will, whatever you wish. I'm easy. And I cut the price in half. You look at the prices that are there, they're not very high anyway, but rather than be like everybody else in the economy today and raise prices or shrink services, I'm cutting the price. I've cut the price in half because the way I figure it, I missed about half my life last year. So cut it in half. Cut the prices in half. So if you did want a reading, if you want to look at the coming year, if you want to know more about what's going on in your life, and you want to take a look at any subject you want, magic-works.com, magic-works.com. You'll see there on the homepage, or you can go to the link that says tarot reading, and you'll see the prices there too. And we'll see whatever the prices are, just cut it in half. Because I was very unhappy missing all these shows. So my way of celebrating, and especially my way of honoring a really lousy economy, is to cut the price on this. Because it's like I said, this is not like buying food. This is not like buying fuel. This is not like buying electricity. Although I think that tarot reading should be a normal part of life. It's just not a normal part of modern life anymore, and so no, there are better things you could spend your money on right now, unless you have a real issue you want to look at, and then I'd be more than happy to do it with you. And if, in any event, even if cutting the prices in half doesn't do it, just contact me anyway, because I never let money get in the way. I really don't. I mean, we'll work something out. There's no problem at all. I like I say often enough, I'm not in this for the money. Anybody who's into tarot reading for the money is seriously needs to take some classes in the meaning of money. Yeah, you should pay a magical worker, because it's one of the principles of the magical economy is that if you're worth your labor, you're worth your keep. There you go. You see, I just made a political statement in fact, but I didn't mean to. So that's my gift right now, is that we will be doing tarot readings. I was going to do it to the end of the year, then I figured I'd run it through January, and now let's keep it going into February and see, maybe we'll keep it going into the spring. I don't know, but it's going well and people are enjoying it, and I'm glad to get back to doing it. I sure missed it. Oh boy, the only thing to me worse than being sick is being sick and just isolated. And I was, because, man, I missed you guys. I missed the audience. Look, the fact that I just did 3 weeks in a row here, that's an achievement, considering the way it was going. So I'm looking forward to not missing anything, and I'm looking forward to big changes in the magical window this year, and improvements. By that I mean improvements. Changes aren't necessarily good, but these will be good. So now we've talked about all that. I gave you the magic incantation that will make your relationship happy, which is yes, dear. And I've told you about the half-price tarot readings. We're all shuffled up. Let's ring a bell 3 times to declare sacred space. Well, that didn't sound very good. So let's not count that one. There you go. That is so nice. And we'll now pull the curtain back on the magical window for Pamela in Plainview, Minnesota. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi.
Hi, Pamela. How are you tonight?
Okay.
Well, maybe we can make that a little better. Why don't we give it a shot? What can I look at for you?
What this year holds for me, if I'm going to make some changes, make some great changes.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
So is this the year? Is this the year that things start moving? Right? One of the question like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
well,
everything I'm working on comes to light.
Okay. Well, this is good, because the first card is about a person who's feeling that there's no movement and no change and is kind of stuck. That's the 8 of Swords. So the cards are saying, okay, fine. You want to see if that's going to continue. The next is the Hanged Man. I almost never get that card. The Hanged Man is an interesting card. It's about a person who is sacrificing at this point. You're giving something up now for something you're going to gain later. Whatever it is that you're up to is going to be very rewarding, because I have the 10 of Coins here, which is for loads of money. And I have the 9 of Cups, which is enjoying that money and happiness and pleasure. And here's a card which is the 4 of Rods, which is a happy home. Yes, I mean, this is the Ace of Cups. That should sum it up, because that's about the beginning of emotional well-being and joy and happiness. That you have felt kind of restricted over the recent years, but you have been working at getting something better. And, well, of course, we know that because that's what you asked about. But the card confirms that with the Hanged Man. And all these other cards show great abundance coming to you materially and emotionally. So I think this is going to be a very good year for you.
Okay. Should I trust the people I've been talking to in the last couple weeks?
Oh, is this like work or something?
No, not really. It's.
Let's see. I'll see what I get. Because if there are people you shouldn't trust, that shows up.
I know this.
No, I'm not seeing anything that says you're being misled, but I will tell you one thing. I've got something interesting here. One of the cards here, the cards indicate, first of all, what I see in the cards is, again, I have the Two of Swords, which is similar to that other card because it's about stalemate, things not moving. But I also have the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords means that the worst is over. The bad times are finished, and better stuff is coming. Now, there's a card I want to talk to you about, which is the Devil. And that's not meant in like the evil, satanic kind of way. The Devil generally represents a very charismatic person, a dynamic person, an attractive person who gets a lot of things done, and you can get a lot done around a person like that. But there's a warning that person can consume your life. You see, we all know people like that who have maybe they use people a lot. You can do well around them, but you got to be aware of the nature of that. It's like I said, it's not about evil. It's about the only evil in that is the idea that you may be subsuming your own identity. But there's somebody who you're dealing with who is very charismatic and powerful and attractive, and can help you get what you want. The difficulty is dealing with people like that and not surrendering your own self. You see what I mean? And I think you'll be able to do that because you're a very, well, I was about to say you're a very independent thinker when I got the Ace of Swords and the Page of Swords. And these are good cards about that because the swords are about mental activity. The Ace of Swords means that there's new ways that you're seeing things, that you're thinking of the world. And the Page of Swords means that you're putting that stuff to practical use. So yeah, you'll be all right. But just it's a warning not to go overboard and give up who you are in exchange for what you get. Okay. But you have great possibilities coming your way here, like the King of Coins. There you go. That's somebody who can help you with money and a person who understands and gets money and knows how to use it. So these are very good cards. Really good card. I just shuffled it and I got the Devil card again. So yeah, there's definitely somebody there who is not dangerous, mind you. This is not a dangerous, evil person. Okay, that's a mistake that the movies make when they want to scare people. Shorthand would be to take a tarot deck and use death and the devil. This is, let's say like it's somebody going to work for a movie star. I knew people who did that. And that can subsume your life. Now, like recently there was that woman who was working for Robert De Niro, ended up in court, because they were very enmeshed. It's like that, He was paying her $300,000 a year. So yes, that is a lucrative position with a very charismatic and demanding person. But you have to watch out that you don't lose your sense of who you are. I think you can handle that, though, because the sword cards show me that you have, and it's not a pun, but it does speak in puns, you have a sharp mentality. See?
I have a question. So am I like an empath, and like the stuff I'm sensing, is it real or is it just me, my imagination?
Well, let me put it this way. If you're asking me that question, it's probably real. The thing with being an empath is it's not the problem.
Well, I don't.
The problem is turning it off when you don't want it to happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that.
See, I don't know if that's what
it is, but it drains me.
Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, believe me, that's why people who are empaths need to take vacations once in a while, or learn how to turn it off. I'm trying to think. I'm going through in my mind the various books that the closest I can think of. There's a book called How I Discovered My Mediumship, which you can find at mojoacademy.org. But you're not talking about being a medium, unless
I don't even
you are.
know what it is I do.
Well, see, you might want to read that, because that's a woman who she was very famous in the early 20th century, and she had a very bizarre childhood because they all thought she was crazy because of hearing things and seeing things and feeling things that nobody else did. And as an adult, she just had to learn how to turn it off once in a while, because you can't go around doing that all the time. Otherwise, it's like being in a really noisy room. And I know exactly well, good. I was hoping this card would show up, believe it or not. So it's either responding to me or to you, but I'm assuming it's responding to you. It's the 9 of Coins. The 9 of Coins, it's a beautiful card. It shows a person alone in the woods with a bird on her hand and at peace. Now, that's not about being lonely. That's about somebody who learns how to turn it off and be okay in solitude, and be away from people, and is comfortable in her own skin. And
right, I like it. Quiet.
Yeah, as I recall, that book, How I Discovered My Mediumship, that's a big chunk of that book, is how that woman learned to control it. So you might want to take a look at that. There's also a book called Hunches, which is but that's a little more general. That is also at mojoacademy.org. Hunches is a book it's from the 1930s or the 20s, I don't recall. So it's old, but it reads like modern. There are many different kinds of psychic ability, and this outlines them all and tells you what you can do to control them. Because you don't want.
Like that. I'm crazy every time I.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, there are two options there. One is that you are crazy, and the other is that you have some psychic ability. I'm betting on the latter, because people who are crazy don't really think, am I crazy? They think you're crazy.
That's true.
If I'm crazy, I'm going to think everyone else is crazy. But at least I hope, So that's the beautiful part about losing your mind, is that you see things differently, but it's a travail. This is the whole thing about Kabbalah, the study of that, and I pronounce it that way purposefully, because the more dilettante version is Kabbalah. But the Kabbalah, which is the more religious version, the whole goal there is to see the connections between everything until you go nuts. And then you'll see more than the other person does. So keep in mind, go to mojoacademy.org and look at the books there, because there might be something there that'll help you out. But the two that I can think of offhand, one or the other, would be How I Discovered My Mediumship and Hunches, which are two wonderful books. And give it a shot, okay?
Okay. Well, thank you.
But look, just talking to, let me put it this way. I've spoken to a lot of crazy people. I spent years in the entertainment business, so trust me, I know lunatics. I went to see them. You don't sound crazy to me, so there you go, right?
Like maybe some kind of book or like a documentary about coming up about everything I'm doing.
Well, do this. First of all, look up those two books at mojoacademy.org. They're also available through Amazon, but they're at mojoacademy.org. And then at my main website, and this goes for everybody listening in the same position, magic-works.com, magic-works.com. There's a section there on videos. And there will be videos there about ESP and things like that you can look at and see if any of that rings your bell. How's that? Okay?
Yep.
And you can always contact me anytime. You can contact me through Ask One Radio or through my website. There's contact forms at mojoacademy.org. There's contact forms at magic-works.com. You know, all that. I'm easy to find. You can always send me an email, and I'll be happy to guide you through some books and things like that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Good luck. Bye-bye. And we are listening to, oh boy, there goes my throat. You know why my throat is clogging up here? Because I'm not used to doing this. I've been such a lazy SOB that I missed so many shows. But I'm back, and we are together, and boy, am I glad to get that energy I get from the Ask One Radio audience. You people just... You intoxicate me with good vibes, positive energy. So let's go do some more readings. Danielle in Naho, Arizona. Hi, Danielle. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi.
Hi, how are you tonight, Danielle?
I'm good.
Well, maybe we can make that a little better, right? What can I look at for you?
Okay.
What would you like to
I'd just like to see what I have in store. I'm trying to get custody of my grandbabies, and I'm hoping that it's going to be sooner rather than later. So.
Yeah, you know, this is one of those things that, like, when there's everybody, you don't need me to tell you this. There's a lot of people who do this kind of stuff who fake it. And one of the things they're supposed to do is say, when you say a thing like what you just said, is say, yes, I know. You know, as if we know, but we don't know, right? But when you were talking about that, I was going to ask you about children, because the first card I got is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups shows two little children. And it's about a sense of nostalgia, and it's about thinking about children in your life or when you were a child. And the next card is the Four of Rods, which is about a happy home. So I was going to ask you if there's anything going in your life, involving the home and children.
Yes.
But there, yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you see, and because a lot of people who fake it will say, yes, I see, you know, I'm always reluctant, because the cards show exactly what you just said, that it sounds unbelievable, but there it is. There is authority involved here, and it looks like the Hierophant is here, and that's religious authority. So there's got something to do with marriage and things of that nature. Its custody is very complex, and yet the cards are showing the Four of Rods, which is happiness. But you want to know how it's going, so. I'm gonna tell you what I see here, which may not be very helpful, but because some of this you know, but this is just to show you that the cards are with you. The first is the Wheel of Fortune. I got the Wheel of Fortune, which is a major card, and it means that the situation as it is now is going to change. And that, generally, when people hear that, they're happy until they say, well, wait a minute, is it going to get better or worse? So I have other cards here already. I don't ever talk about that card until I have others ready. The next is the Chariot. Now that is a person who is almost like being pulled in two different directions with a very difficult situation, but is managing to control the situation. So you're working really hard. You know, that is here. The Queen of Swords is here. Now, that's a very important thing. Sometimes the Queen of Swords is considered a cold woman, a harsh woman, because it's not as women have this rap about, being emotional more than men, but, go see a movie like Dr. Zhivago, and you'll see how many men are crying also, but this is, you have had to be very cold and very firm and very sharp in what you're doing. And that's what this shows me. And you're doing that. You're succeeding that way. The next card is the Nine of Cups, which is a card of enjoying the good things in life. And the inference there is of success. And here I have, the Three of Cups, which means the completion of a matter in plenty, which doesn't necessarily mean, money, but it means getting what you want. What I'm seeing here is that the situation is fluid. You're working on it. It's changing. You're not letting it tear you apart. You're controlling yourself very well, even though you may be perceived rightly or wrongly by some people as being firm and cold and harsh, but you're doing what you've got to do. You're a sensual person who enjoys things, and they don't see that side of you, but that side will come out, and I'm seeing success coming to you.
Okay.
Now,
That's good to hear because there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. Just so much that my plate is very full.
I have to, that I can see. Believe me, I can see that here. I've got like the Five of Cups here. That is a person who's focused on something that happened, something that didn't work out well. And, right now you're looking at 3 spilled cups where there's 2 full cups behind you, but you don't have time to look at that because you have to deal with the mess, you see? And that's where you are right now. But the inference in that card is that at some point the person's going to turn around and see the other cups, which is to see what else she has. So right now you're preoccupied. Now, I don't want to get into a little projection here, but I went through this for the last few years myself. My wife and I were involved in a legal battle, not with each other, It was us against somebody else, where she was grievously injured, and we had to sue them. And I mean, we had to sue them. They tried to kill her. You see, I can't really talk about it too much, but it worked out okay. But we spent quite a while focused on doing that and doing that and doing it, and then it was over, and it's like a new phase of your whole life. And now here we go. This is what I like about tarot cards. Sometimes people think they're alive, and sometimes I think they are too, because they joke with you. I was saying, we came through it and we're alive. It's like it's a new life. I have the Judgment card here, which shows an angel blowing a horn and people rising from the grave for a new life. You see, so that's what's. It's almost like you're going to have a whole new life. That you're on path towards that. So barring anything unexpected, from what I see, you're doing everything right. From what I see, you're doing what you should. Here's the beautiful card, the Temperance card. That also has an angel. That's 2 cards in a row you got with angels on them, which tells me that you're being protected. The Temperance card is here. That
Actually, means... I do have 2 people that are watching over me. My mother just passed not too long ago, and my soulmate as well, but they both promised to watch over me and the girls.
Wow, now isn't that fascinating that I've got 2 cards, one right next to the other, that one has an angel and the other has an angel. Take a look at them sometime. You can just Google on a deck of cards. If you go to my website, magic-works.com, and look up Magical Window, you'll see the cards that I'm using, but any tarot card will show you. These are major cards, the Temperance card and the Judgment card, and they both have angels on them. They both have sunshine on them. And the Temperance card means that balance will be restored in your life. Right now, your life is out of whack. Your life is not balanced, and it can't be because you're focusing on doing something. So it's lopsided, your life. But it will get to it. See, I've seen people who are involved in many legal things, and even after they won, they couldn't let go. It's very difficult to get back to normal sometimes, but you will. Because the angel here is the angel of temperance, and that's going to happen. The next card is the Magician. The Magician draws power, spiritual power from above, and uses it here. These are 3 very heavenly cards, and you got them. So I think you have protection. But right now,
I do feel like I do.
I don't see any speed bumps here. I don't see anything going wrong. I can't obviously predict the exact outcome of all this, but I do see that you're not going to be upset or disappointed by the way it ends, that you'll be all right with the way it's all settled. So that's going to be good too, okay?
That's excellent to hear, yes.
So the main God, you see, there it is again. There's that the 9 of coins. Is that the third time tonight I've gotten that? That's about a person who's comfortable in their own skin and can be comfortable solitarily, without, you don't need people around you all the time. So you're focused and you're centered and you know what you're doing. And, the 10 of coins, that's a very good card. That's about family and ancestors and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-grandparents and all. So, you're doing well in the family line. We'll put it that way, okay?
Okay.
But it's looking good to me. It's looking real good to me. So
I can breathe easier because it's just hard. You can't.
Yeah, I know.
You want a positive outcome. You don't want to hurt anybody, but sometimes you have to in order to do what's best for your baby.
Yes.
And
sometimes
it's been a long trip. Let me tell you, we've been through a lot.
Sometimes it's not you hurting people, but it's how they take what happens. If they choose to be hurt by it, that kind of thing. Let me just leave you with this, because I don't get this card very often either. I had the Hanged Man for somebody earlier. This is the card it's called the Fool. And in the gypsy system of magic, that means the person who gets this card is the beloved of God and has divine protection. And if there had been any negative cards in that reading at all, this card would wipe it out. So yeah, you got people watching over you. So be conscious of them, okay? Because they're near you. They're near you.
Sometimes I think I can't feel them, but I know they're around.
They're there too. I have a thing that happens sometimes, and I know, and I'm pretty sure I know who it is. I get a thing like somebody just poked me in the cheek. It's just weird, because and I know who that is. I'm really sure, and she passed away a few years ago. So it's just, that's my first thought is that this person is. Why? I don't know why. I mean, if I could get into the afterlife and eternity, I wouldn't want to waste it watching me. But I don't know. maybe I'm part of some big cosmic plan, like Tevye said in Fiddler on the Roof. I don't know. But there's more to life than we see, and you, according to what I'm seeing here, have protection. So I'm going to light a white candle after the show to send some positive energy your way also. How's that?
That sounds wonderful. Thank you very much. You don't know how much I appreciate this.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And let's shuffle them up again. Boy, the clock is ticking on us here as you listen to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on Valentine's Day, 1984, right? I don't know why the year 1984 keeps coming to my mind. I hope that doesn't have anything to do with George Orwell. I hope it's because 1984 was a good year. Speaking of which, it's people talk about growing older and how strange it is to grow. It's difficult growing older, which I find kind of silly because I managed to do it without any effort at all. But there came one point when I was a little bit flummoxed when I realized that I'm now well past the last verse of the song "It Was a Very Good Year." That's old. Janine in Brooklyn is next. Hi, Janine. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, it's Jeannie.
Oh, Jeannie. Okay, sorry. I have to get my glasses fixed up. So what can I do for you, Jeannie?
I guess a love life reading will be great.
Okay, let's see. I'll shuffle them up now that we know what you want to look at. And cut the deck once. Let's see, this is like the old radio shows. I was listening to an interview with Tony Randall, who was a radio actor and hated every minute of it. I was talking with a friend about that, the idea that on old radio shows, which I love, they would they would say, well, come on in and put your hat on that rack over there as I pull this chair out and we sit down and let me move this off the table, because they had to describe everything they did. Nobody talks like that. And here I am talking like that. So, wonderful. Now, let's see. Okay, I've got two cards here that are cups, and cups are about romance. And so that's a pretty good sign here. The first is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is about a person whose mind is filled with ideas and thoughts and what's the word I'm looking for? It's not confusing, but it's just that it's a very active mind. A lot of people don't like that card. I do. I'd rather have too many ideas than none at all. So there you go.
Right.
And the other is the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is here too, which is about remembering things from childhood, from years ago. Maybe somebody you knew ages ago may be coming back into your life. Social media, that's pretty weird. I heard from somebody who we knew each other when we were both like 5 years old, So that's pretty creepy to be, an old, decrepit man, run into somebody you last saw at 5, So, but but the main thing is about the Seven of Cups is there's plenty of options. That there's a lot of options for you, romantically speaking, or in terms of relationships. There's things that are going to be coming your way. You're just going to have to choose. So that's good. You're not going to be stuck in the desert, so to speak. There's a chance that it could be someone you knew long ago, maybe someone you were involved with once before, and or knew casually, and maybe it'll get a little deeper. But the next card is, again, the Four of Rods, a happy home. I've gotten that several times today. So, yeah, it's looking good. Here's a very good card. It's ugly, but it's good, which is a contradiction, I suppose. It's the Ten of Swords. If you've been having any hard times lately, this means those are about to end. If things have been rough for you, that means you're ending that period of bad times and heading off into good times. In fact, literally heading off, because here's the Eight of Cups. Cups again, affairs of the heart. Eight of Cups is leaving things that aren't working for you now and going towards things in life that are better for you. So you're making changes in your life?
I am. Yeah, well, that's amazing, yeah.
Well, that shows positive change, and it's a good time to do it. I mean, a lot of people want to make, I can see that for almost everyone I read, that they want to make changes, but this shows the change is taking place. So that's good. The Two of Rods is about waiting for results. So I'm not seeing anything in the immediate future, but you're laying the groundwork for it, and it's on the way, you see, because I'm getting cards here that indicate that there's going to be massive changes in your life. I mean, really big changes in your life, but for the better. I mean, they culminate with the Six of Rods, which is triumph, not just success, but triumph. So I do think that you're headed in the right path. But the important thing is that the Seven of Cups shows me that there's a lot of possibilities coming your way. Okay?
Okay. That sounds great.
So now, if I could leave you with a message that is positive, which is it's going to feel like nothing is happening, but that's not so. Things are happening. Because remember, take a look sometime at that card, Six of Rods. It shows a person with a banner on a horse being followed by others, leading and successful. That's you at the end of all this. That you're gonna get what you want, and you're gonna do really well with it. Okay, so keep that in mind.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Because all the changes that you're bringing to yourself in your life are improvements. Change for the sake of change. Maybe some people like it. I don't. I'm very conservative in my life. If I had my way, I'd probably still be living in the house I grew up in. But you're definitely going to be changing for the better, and things are going to be moving along very well for you. So get ready for a very exciting year, okay?
Thank you. That sounds great, and I actually needed that news.
Good. I'm glad you feel better about it. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And we're shuffling up again. You're listening to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, the show that asks the magical question. And I really wondered about this. Can I do readings for people who are thousands of miles away? I had no idea if I could or not. Apparently I can. I mean, I've been doing it now for almost, I'm in my 13th year here. Can't wait to be in the 14th year because I'm not crazy about that number, 13. That's a cultural thing, isn't it? Let's just say that I'm in the 15th month of my 12th year. How's that? Like I said, I'm looking forward to big changes for the better in the magical window. You know, I want to make it a little more interesting. You know, I want to do some things here. Let's see. The weather is going to be thawing out soon, which means, boy, if I had a drum roll, I would do it. There'll be a new copy of my newsletter coming out. We had the fall-winter newsletter, which is still available. We can find that at the newsletter page at magic-works.com, magic-works.com. And I will be doing a, what would that be then, I guess? A summer, a spring-summer? Yeah, I'll do a spring-summer issue. Any day now. Any day now. So let's go to take one last call. Donna in Red Deer, Alberta. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot, Donna.
Hello.
Hi, Donna. How are you doing tonight?
Not too bad.
Well,
I was just wondering if you could help me with some guidance.
Sure.
Just wondering what my near future holds with my home and job.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Are you looking to make changes?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's changes coming. There are big changes coming in your life. And they're good, okay? I'm seeing I have a card that shows completely new change. This is a card that scares people. It shouldn't. It's the death card. It doesn't mean you're going to die. It means one phase of your life is ending and another is beginning. The cards don't predict death of people because that's in everybody's future. Much as we don't particularly want to think about that, yeah, that's somewhere down the road. It's going to hit us all, except me. I'm sticking around. The death card really means the end of one part of your life and the start of another, because there's a sunrise on that card. So one part of your life is you're looking for a new life in a sense. The Ace of Coins tells me that this new life is going to involve more money. The World tells me that you're going to be very successful. And here again, for like the fourth time tonight, is the Four of Rods, which is a card about a happy home and joy. And the Nine of Cups is about a person who knows how to enjoy the sensual pleasures in life and does very well. And the only warning there is that you live so well, people might be envious of you. That's serious. That's the only downside there, that you're going to be living that well. So whatever's going on in your life now, I see that is coming to a close, and a new era of prosperity and enjoyment is going to begin.
Okay.
And now, is there anything
do you see what kind of job opportunity I have coming?
Well, the card here is the Queen of Rods, and rods are about work. So this is, I can see a new job there. Let's see what else we have here. Well, the Temperance card, I had that before for somebody else. It's a great card. It means your balance is going to be restored if your life is feeling out of balance. And the Ace of Rods. Ace of Rods means new jobs, new career work, new life in terms of work. So, yeah, look, I'm gibberish. It's like gibberish now to me, but that's how it's coming out. The Ace of Rods, the Queen of Rods, he's telling me that there's going to be a new job. The Ace of Coins and the Nine of Cups These tell me you're going to be doing very well financially and emotionally in this job. The Eight of Rods is here. Again, rods are about work and career, but the Eight of Rods means that something is on its way. That means that this thing is happening now. It's coming to you very soon. The Five of Rods says there'll be some stiff competition involved in this new position, but you will be fine because it's not like out and out warfare. It's just like it's just good, hearty, stiff competition. But you'll be able to handle it because of the success that you have in these cards. Remember, I said you had the World, which is a card of assured success. So yes, there's work coming your way too. You're in a really big period of change that's coming up, and it's going to be very good for you. It's what you've been wanting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you're making it happen, and when it comes, it's going to be coming because of your efforts. And I just say congratulations, because this is I'm going to shuffle them up and take a couple of more cards and see what it is, because this is a very good reading, very hopeful. Yeah, see, there you go, Judgment card, which is like a rebirth. Just beautiful. That's it. It's the Empress. That's a woman who can make things happen and grow, make things move. I think you're going to have a great dynamic year. And it's in the works now. That's the Eight of Rods. Okay?
Okay.
So I got to run.
Any messages?
No, I've got to run. I only have about a minute left, so I really don't have time to look at other messages. But if you want to call back at some point, I'll be able to take a look at that. Okay? Because we're up against the end of the show.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Sorry I couldn't do more. Bye-bye now. And that's it. We've come to the end of another edition of Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, the show that asks, is he going to disappear for 6 months again? Oh, man, I should have made up some kind of story, right? Like I went into the Foreign Legion or something like that. That would have been good. That could have been cool. Say, I went off into the Foreign Legion and was doing readings for people in the desert while... Well, I don't know. Is there still a French Foreign Legion in the desert? I don't know. All I know about it is from like Beau Geste and Laurel and Hardy. That's about all I know about the Foreign Legion. So we'll be back together next week at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific as we look through the magical window of the tarot. Remember that you can find those books I mentioned earlier today, Hunches and How I Discovered My Mediumship. You can find that and loads more at mojoacademy.org. Mojoacademy.org has books and video and all kinds of great stuff there. And my website is magic-works.com. Take a look at the love spells there. You'll see what I feel about love spells and what you can do with them and what you maybe shouldn't do with them. That's love spells at magic-works.com. And I'll see you again next week. Remember, until next week, who you are is the universe's gift to you. Who you become is your gift back to the universe. Bye-bye now. See you next week.